Tensor a big fella?
No, not too big.
Never trust a thin chef.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, he's not too big, but he likes to eat, it looks like. So it must be all that
He
planar
must have
travel.
high metabolism.
Yeah, that planar travel.
In the study, does he have any books kind of on our subject? Can I search?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so he went is kind of not there at the moment, but offers you any books and whatnot. So yeah, you can take a look and see. Yeah, matter of fact, you kind of look through and you see on the bookshelf there, towards the top, there is a book that talks about uh, ancient giant cities.
I guess I'll read that.
I'm gonna see if I can borrow one of his studies or something to do some crafting.
All right, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he has a crafting area that you can use as well.
Seems like the city was aligned with a group of druids called the Order of the Storm. They took solace in there, but were relentlessly attacked by dragons and undead. Then the Order left centuries ago, and the town fell into obscurity. No records from giants speak of the place ever again since then.
Well, the Order of Druids, aren't those the ones that were on that island that we were just at?
Was there a storm druid? I thought they were like the elements.
Oh, maybe. They were druids, though.
Would the storm be the wind one, or?
Yeah, maybe.
I thought they were. What was it? It was the name of a. That was the name of a group, right?
The Order of the Storm?
Yeah.
As you were as you're kind of reading that off and going through the notes, at that time, Agath, who is Tensor's second in command, had kind of been milling about the room, was just kind of checking some stuff, and you kind of read that off to him, and he looks to you and he's like, "That's not what that book says."
It isn't?
It's like, I have a photographic memory and I've read that book. I know that's not in that book. And he kind of walks over and he kind of looks to see what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'll show him.
You see, as he looks at it, his eyes kind of go wide, and he looks back and he flips a page back and he flips a couple pages back and forth and looks and he says, "Yeah, I guess it does say that. I wasn't there when I read it before."
Wonder how that would happen. Do you think it was like a page stuck together or something? Because I don't doubt you.
He looks to you, and you can see he's just kind of in sort of a disbelief, and he says, "I don't think it was." And kind of flips back and forth and sort of shakes his head, and he kind of says, "It's very, I don't know. I guess it was there. Maybe I missed it."
How long ago did you read this? Because we traveled back in time to help fight Dragotha, and I wonder if we changed history.
He says, "I read it a few months ago."
So we just recently went back in time to help the druids. So maybe this book changed since then. Is there any other books that talk about this kind of stuff?
He says, "Yeah, there is," and he kind of brings down a couple more books and kind of pages through. You can see one of them is Druid orders. Another one talks about the kind of the world atlas of Greyhawk and things, and he sees then in those books too. He sees similar things where there's discussion about the druids that were called the Order of the Storm, and stories about Kongen-Thulnir, and again, he's pretty baffled by this. He says, "I'm pretty sure this wasn't here before."
Oh, maybe it's possible we changed history.
He says, "Maybe." He says, "Unfortunately, though, that means that there's probably other books that also list the same information." I'm
So
pretty
you
sure.
think others know that we're going there?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, Tensor's not the only one with books that speak of this stuff.
You'd think if we changed it in the past, though, you would have read it. Yeah, we're stuck in a time rift deal. I gotta sit down.
Is it possible that some of these books were magically, like the writing was magically obscured or something?
He kind of looks to you and Haleth, and he says, I highly doubt that. I'm pretty sure Tensor would not allow there to be magically obscured books.
Well, if that means that the location of this place that we're looking for is now showing up in books, that means anybody who's looking for the phylactery would know where it's at, right?
I would presume as well, yes.
We better hurry to get there then.
Yes, that's very dire indeed. He says, I'll be right back. And you see he kind of quickly scurries out of the room.
How much time are we going to spend here? Team.
Probably, with the recent events, probably not that long. It looks like we may have to hustle.
Like an hour, a couple hours a day? I'm just trying to get an idea of if I can craft more or not.
We could spend the night to rest and then leave in the morning if you guys want.
That would work for me.
It'd get spells back for everybody and stuff.
I think we took a long rest at some point because all my stuff's all back.
Yeah, I think I triggered a long rest at the end there. But we'll consider it over. You guys staying overnight, we'll give you the long rest.
Tensor's was in a town, right?
He was.
He was just outside of a town.
Yeah. Yep. His castle was in the middle of the lake on a long bridge from the town of Mage Point.
Mage Point, that's right.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind if I could running into town to an armory weapon shop or better yet a magic shop
Okay.
if we have time for that.
Yeah, I don't think it would take that long. I mean, if you guys are going to stay overnight, take a nap. I don't see it being a huge issue.
Okay. Anybody have a problem with that?
No.
Nope.
All right. I'll go do that now,
Okay.
and then when I come back, I'll use a couple more hours for crafting.
Okay, sounds good. So as you kind of head out, you are able to get out into the city. There's various shops and things that are there. With it being a mage town, it does have pretty much any sort of magical shop that you would be desiring.
All right. I'd like to, if I could, find some magical arrows.
Okay.
Preferably arrows of slaying or dragon slaying,
All right. Let me see.
if they have anything like that.
Yeah, I think they probably do. So, how many arrows are you looking for?
So, how expensive are they?
I knew that question was coming.
I mean, if they're 5 gold a pop, I'll buy the whole store.
Yeah, let me see here.
I mean, and we do get the Magnificent 7 discount,
Right.
being the champions of Greyhawk, and
Right.
well, apparently now we're even in the history books.
Right. Yeah. Do you have your card? You got a platinum card that you flash, or sapphire, or whatever.
I'll just pull out
his
my
membership
action
card.
figure.
Yeah, your action figure. There you go. That's funny. So
Use my Greyhawk Mesa card. I can get the points and we'll pay it off right away.
There you go.
there you go. So yeah, they're definitely not $5 gold a pop. That's for sure. But
So like 6.
close. So let's see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll give you let's see what kind of a discount you get here. Oh, okay, that's not bad. So she'll give you a 20% discount off the
Okay.
arrows. Each arrow is 5,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Yeah. So
How many does she have available?
let's see here. She has 9. I didn't even know they had such a thing. So
Usually you see them as arrows of dragon slaying, but I think in the DMG they're just listed as arrows of slaying.
Yep, that's what I found. Yeah.
So is 5,000 the price with the 20%,
Nope.
or it's 5,000 minus 20%?
Correct. So that'd be what, 4,000? Is that right? Is that 20%?
Yeah. So 5 of them would be 100,000. Oh,
Yep.
that's not right. Is that right? No, that's not right.
No.
20,000.
Yeah, 20,000.
Must have had some other number in my calculator. And then it's 10 gold per platinum, right?
Correct.
So that'd be 2,000 platinum. Which I don't have. Oh, but I guess we got
You've got a ton in the party.
we got gobs in the
Yeah.
party sheet.
Well, you should have enough now.
Yeah.
Money's not really an option at this point.
Yeah.
I can no longer move because I have so much money.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna have to find an investment banker.
Right. Or maybe an inn. Or a city.
We could buy an inn, yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you'd like?
Yeah, I'll take 5 of them.
Oh, okie dokie. I put them in the party sheet.
Okay. So I have 19,000 gold pieces, and then I'll also give you 100 platinum.
Alright, sounds good. Anybody else want anything while we're here?
Maybe should.
I probably should be looking for something, but I don't feel like it.
I'm gonna look for some healing potions.
Oh,
What
Okay, so,
girl doesn't want to shop?
She doesn't
This is,
shop, she
we're in
steals.
the upside down world. I'll also take 4 bundles of arrows.
yeah, sure. Regular arrows?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just gonna buy some arrows and javelins, Greg. I'll just deduct like 20 gold or
Yeah,
something.
you don't even have to take off. Yeah, whatever you want to take off is fine. So if you want to take anything off, that's okay. It's such minuscule, it's no big deal.
How much are supreme healing potions?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you which one you were looking for. So, do you want the ones with the worm or without the worm?
Without the
Oh,
worm,
I'm
preferably.
sorry. I gotcha. So, those are... oh, you're in luck. So, they are 5,000 apiece. That's the lowest price.
So they're 4,000 too.
That's correct. They're 4,000 as well. And she has 7 of them.
I'll take them all.
Alrighty.
I mean, we got a ton of gems and stuff too. If people want to trade
So
or
that's
sell those.
28,000, right?
Yep. And I put those in the party sheet too.
Can you like?
Oh, yeah, I can identify them. Sorry. Thanks. I forgot. There you go. Anybody else?
Hey, Ren.
Yep.
You can resurrect people even if they die, right?
I can revivify.
Do you need diamonds for that?
I have, let me take a look here. I have some. Let me buy, I got 2 packs of 300 GP diamonds. I'm gonna buy 4 more packs, so I'll have 6.
Sure.
I can get them, Greg.
Yeah, go ahead. Spell components, they have plenty of.
Now, are these are just arrows of slaying, right?
So I think you have to. I think I would have you do whichever you're looking for. If you're looking for a dragon, then I'd make them dragon slaying. Or if you want to do like 2 of one, 2 of another, I'd probably do that because they only
Yeah, that's
have
a good call.
slaying.
What do you guys think? Our chances are we're gonna run into Dog or
Dragotha.
Dragotha.
Makes sense to me.
Do you guys agree? Yeah.
If you need cash, let me know. I'm sitting on like a ton that I don't know what I'll use for.
She has 4 arrows left, so he only bought 5.
I don't own a bow, so I ain't buying any.
I have a bow, but if I'm using that against a dragon, we're in bigger problems.
Did Dragotha shoot fire, or do we know?
I don't remember seeing any fire because he was fighting Lashana. Which is interesting because didn't you say that you got an undead aura from her?
Yeah, I think so.
So we saw her, I think we saw her crash to the ground and die in that vision or whatever, the trip to the past.
Oh yeah, she was undead for sure.
Alright, so shopping is over.
Yep, while we're waiting for Gath to come back.
Yeah.
I'll start looking around to see if there's anything on just like dragons or whatever, to see if there's any mention of Lashana or anything that may have happened to her.
Yeah, it sounds good. Go ahead and just go ahead and give me an investigation roll. I know your investigation's already high, but we'll take whichever's higher of the two. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, that works. So yeah, you find various books. It looks like Tensor actually has quite a bit of interest in dragons himself, actually, and you kind of page through and look through the books, and he has them separated in sections by actually white dragon, black dragon, things like that. And you see no mention of Lashana anywhere within that list.
Well, I wonder if somebody raised her into an undead dragon. I don't even know if that's possible. Have you heard anything like that, Rin?
That's a lich, dragon lich, right? I think I would know quite a bit about this stuff, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would actually. So, so typically if they do try to raise them, that would make them into a Dracolich. There is obviously other forms of undead that can occur, such as, ghouls, ghasts, vampires, all those sorts of things. So there's various forms that they could return as.
Yeah, that's just what we need. An undead vampire dragon.
Right.
But that is worrisome, considering that we're going to find Dragotha's Phylactery, and we know Lashana is out there, and she could be another lich. Anyway, the focus, I guess, should be on finding the City of Giants.
So as you are kind of having this discussion, Tensor walks in and he says, I hear you guys are not only great heroes and adventurers, but scholars as well. Gath is down there quite distraught about not knowing what's in these books.
Well, we think something may have changed over time here.
Well, I've heard of that happening in the past. You've triggered something, I take it, out on the island, huh?
We traveled back in time to help defeat, or to help get Dragotha's phylactery.
The passings of the almost Age of Worms in the past, I see. Some 1,500 years ago, yeah?
Yeah, give or take. 1531, I think.
Interesting. He says, and I understand that you're looking to travel to the Rift Canyon, is that right? Out to Kongen-Thulnir?
Yep. Yeah, that's correct.
Supposedly that's in ruins now, however, with the changing of history, I'm not sure. Maybe it isn't anymore.
Yeah, maybe not. Do they have a teleportation circle there?
They may have in the past. I don't think they do now. At least nobody's traveled there in a long time. I do know that it's constantly was inhabited by giants. Various factions would sort of take control of the city when another would leave. Hill and fire, as well as storm giants, just sort of depended. And they have casters, of course. But that being said, I find that hard to believe, that they may or may not have a teleportation circle there now. I typically know most of them here in Greyhawk. I do know that it is about an hour's west of Riftcrag is where we sort of would see that general location of where it was said to be. It sort of hangs on the side of a cliff, if I remember from my readings.
Well, I think Snowflake remembered something about that. What he said was it was near the Rift Canyon, built on the side of a cliff.
Yes.
We just didn't know which direction. I mean, it looks like it's a big rift.
Yeah, it's gigantic. So, yeah, about an hour outside of Rift Crag is probably the best location that I can give, anyways. He says, "Well, let me hang on one second." And he kind of pulls out a large atlas, and you see that it's dated back many years. And he kind of pages through and pages through, and finally he says, "Ah, yes." He says, "This one." This is about 500 years ago, and he kind of sets the book out, and you can see it does have the Rift Canyon, and you can see kind of the map that you're already looking at now. And he says you can see there's a marker that's right there that says Kongen-Thulnir. Oh my gosh, I can never pronounce it. He says, "Yep, right there." Puts his finger on it and taps on it. There's the location. When are you leaving? Are you leaving today?
I think if you don't mind, we'll take a rest here and leave first thing in the morning.
Of course.
We have a few things we have to discuss about our travel methods.
Yes, of course. You're always welcome here. Please. And he says, just make sure that when you go down to the teleportation circle, if anybody's down there, obviously indicates to Snowflake and to Spaz. If you see somebody down there, just wait your turn, please. And he says, at any time, return back if you need to. If you need help or assistance or information or just a place to rest, you're always welcome. He kind of turns around and sort of walks out of the room.
I'll walk back to the study and take a couple hours to do some crafting.
Okay, sounds good. You're asking, that was Tensor. That's the guy in the blue.
So, looking at the map, how far north of Alhaster is that?
So that is about 190 miles.
So, we're pretty sure we can get to Alhaster by teleport, but going from there,
Right. So sort of a 2 teleport jump type of thing.
well, Snowflake's never been to the Rift Canyon,
That's
so
true. That is very true.
What kind of city is Rift Crag?
So he tells you that the Shield Lands, as well as the Rift Canyon, is fairly lawless. Rift Crag is a city that has mainly dwarves and gnomes that are out there. Unfortunately, though, with the battles that have been occurring, that city has been under perpetual siege and changing of hands of guard for over the last almost 100 years.
Does he know any magicians near there?
He says he used to know some magicians that were there in the past. However, with the changing of guard and whatnot, it's difficult to say who's truly there now. That's why if you see the Shield Lands on that map, there's like Critwall and there's Alhaster, and then pretty much everything else within the Shield Lands has no cities because it's pretty much under perpetual war. I mean, there's some other ones that are there, some small ones. Matter of fact, if you look at the other map, you can see that there are some dotted cities along the way and whatnot, but most of them are pretty much small little towns and things. You can go to White Plume Mountain.
Right, so what are we thinking here? Like I said, I know that we could get back to Alhaster pretty easily.
I guess we'll be buying some horses.
So, I wonder if he has any options for us. He said they don't have a teleportation circle.
He kind of continues to kind of look and whatnot, and he does have sort of a picture of the area of Kongen-Thulnir, the area that's there, but he says that's the best he can do is if he has a picture that you can see. So that would be viewed once, which leads to 40% mishap for teleportation.
Where was it on the map? How close?
On the map itself.
The picture.
Oh, the picture. The picture was fairly close. It's kind of this. You can see it's a picture of the Rift Canyon, and you can see there's this path that's about 20 feet wide that goes down, and you can see that it leads to what looks like a gate on these to the city itself, which is the Adobe. Or not Adobe. What are those? What are the cliff dwellers? Like the cliff dwellings out in the southwest. That's what the city is. It's kind of set inside the cliff. So it's sort of the entrance of the city.
Well, if that can be used as a teleport, is it at like a 40% chance?
Yep. So if you seen casual or viewed once or seen casually, that would be the picture. So mishap is to 40%. A similar area near there or something like that would be another 10%. Off target would be 25, and 25% would be right where the picture's at.
Ren, what do you think? Is it worth it?
Seems like a pretty decent chance. I mean, is it like 75% of the chance we get close, right?
That's the table.
Is there anything bad that can happen?
We just go off target, if I remember Snowflake telling us.
I guess he could study it all night. I mean, that would be another option. I guess it would make him more and more familiar with the picture, I guess. But
In the worst case, we could just teleport the next day and try again, right?
true.
I'm just thinking that if all of these books have changed, then I would like to get there as soon as possible.
Yeah, I say we do the teleport. What could go wrong?
Teleport us over the rift and drop us. Nothing, of course.
We roll gnomes, naked gnomes.
The good news is it doesn't say it sends you to a plane anywhere, so I guess that's a good thing.
I know, that's what I just double checked. I'm alright with that.
What does mishap mean?
Mishap says a spell has unpredictable magical results in a difficult journey. Each teleporting creature takes 3d10 force damage. The GM re-rolls the table to see where you wind up. Multiple mishaps can occur, dealing damage each time.
Yeah, what are the chances of that happening?
Yeah, about 43% of the time. Oh no. Yeah, about 43% of the time.
Well, what are your thoughts on it, Merrick?
I don't know. If we're willing to take the chance and that we might need to take a long rest when we all land, it might be worthwhile.
That's the description of what each of those mean. So I guess the other option is if you had him study books about Thulnir, the Kongen, and look at pictures all night or something like that, and did that, then I guess it would fall under the very familiar, because it says a place that you've ever been very often or carefully studied, or so. Casually would be probably the picture, because he's kind of been looking at it. Viewed it once would be like you saw the picture and then didn't see it again. That's how I would read that as.
While you guys are all discussing and stuff, I come out of the room all frazzled, smoking, cuts on my fingers, just stained with stuff. That's it. Done. That did not go well.
You had some rough rolls.
Yeah, on my super expensive one, I failed twice on it. I had to
Use up some luck.
I had to use both of my luck to be able to pass it.
Dang.
All right, I
here.
say that. Welcome back, Brian.
Yeah, welcome back, Brian.
I see that we have Snowflake study up on it overnight as much as he can without, becoming exhausted, and then just give it a try in the morning. I think that's my suggestion.
I'm game.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. So he goes ahead and does that, studies throughout the night as long as he can. Let's see what we got here. He does pretty good. He studies for about 3 hours before he needs to get some sleep, and then you all go to sleep. Brian, did you need any potions or anything?
Don't think so.
Okay, gotcha. They just did some shopping earlier, so I just want to make sure you're okay.
Okay. I might think of something.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
Let
we
me
should
know.
clear out the party sheet too.
Yeah, that'd be great if you can.
Can I ask either Tinsor or Agath,
Yeah.
Agath if they have a metal, a box, just something to put a magical item in for safekeeping?
Sure, I understand. So I assume you ask with the group there, or is this kind of a private request?
I'll pull them aside. I'll go
Okay.
find them once
Yeah.
everybody's occupied.
Sure, sounds good. So as you do, Tensor says, "Yeah, I do." He says, "What type of box are you looking for?"
Something that can just protect this item that I have picked up. It just needs to be protected and shielded from divination, if that's possible. And I'll.
He says, "Yeah, I have something. Sure." And he says, "How big do you need it to be?"
I'll measure out my arm. It's about that big.
It's about the size of her hand.
So he looks at you quizzically and he says, "You have acquired something interesting, haven't you?"
I have, and I need to make sure it's protected.
That's probably a good idea. He says, "Please follow me." And he kind of takes you down, and as you go kind of down through the tower itself, he takes you to that room. If you remember, he had opened up that room, and there was all those things in there that you could pick from if you wanted to pick an item from his place. And he kind of walks over, and you see he opens up a box, and as he opens up the box, he takes an eye and sets it on the table, and gives you the box. And he gives it to you, and he says, "Will this do?"
That's not a matching pair with the thing that I'm getting ready to put in this box, is it?
He looks to you and he says, "I don't know. Depends what you have."
Well, what is the eye?
The eye is something that should never be combined with the other. Don't you agree?
I agree. I can't believe we have these in the same place.
Mine was in a box.
Oh my.
He kind of smiles and he says, "Don't worry, my room is protected from divination, but you definitely need this box, I think. What is your plans with that?"
Well, this was hidden for decades, and I need to make sure it's returned, or at least hidden somewhere else.
Where have you kept it? Up to this point.
Well, I just retrieved it from someone who was searching for the Fountain of Knowledge.
Yes, but have you kept it in your backpack?
Yes?
For how long?
In the bag of holding?
Oh, whew. Okay. You see a kind of a sigh of relief comes over him. He's like, all right. He says, please don't dally with that being not in some sort of bag of holding or in this box. And definitely do not keep it on your person per se, without in some sort of protection.
That was the plan, but why specifically?
Vecna doesn't really like to have his items being unused. He tends to change beings that seem to carry his items to be someone who may be more apt to use it, if that makes sense.
Well, that's what I was afraid of, so when I picked it up, I made sure to put it in the bag.
Aelith, you are very wise, you know that?
No, I do my best.
And he hands you the box, and he says, would you like me to hang on to this for you?
I think it's my responsibility to carry it since it was stolen from while under my watch.
Then I guess you shall take this box. And he hands you the box.
Cool. I'll take it right there and take the handout and put it in there.
Okay, sounds good. As you grab the box and you're able to open it, you see that in the inside of it are all the symbols of the lawful gods.
And this is going to protect it from divination and any evil entity who might be looking for it.
It's the best protection you'll get.
Well, thank you. I will definitely repay you for this.
I think you are already. And he kind of nods and says, however, be on the lookout for a box for the eye, please. Just kidding. He takes you back upstairs.
All right. I'll go ahead and rest for the evening then.
All right, it sounds good.
Hey, is your attunement mod not working?
I don't know, is it not working on your guys' sheet?
I mean, we could check the little boxes, but it'll let you check as many as you want.
Oh, does it really? Let me check.
I think, was that a level 17 thing?
No, it wasn't. I think I was messing with it, actually, so... Oh,
Lets
that's
me
weird.
check 5.
I think it's a level 17 thing.
Huh, that's interesting. I guess it's not working.
Oh, now, well, whatever you click, just now, yeah, right now it's working.
Now it's 3?
Yep.
That's weird. It says 1 on the options, but okay, that works. Thank you. I appreciate you catching that. Alright. Alright, so y'all sleep the night, and then we're going to have... Spaz, just so you know, they have a picture of where you guys are going, and... This was from Snowflake last week, and this was from Ren this week. He did some reading. Just so you're kind of caught up on where we're at and what's going on.
Good that you sent this to me early in the night, so it's not later in the night.
Right? Exactly. So that's it. And then they had Snowflake study a picture of the entrance to the city, hoping that he can cast a teleportation there.
All right.
So, and then this is going to be a very familiar is the table that we're rolling on here. So,
Not it.
I already gave it to. Oh, I gave it to Spaz or Snowflake already.
Yep, I got it.
All right.
Oh, are we ready to go?
I think so, unless you guys have anything you want to do this morning before you go.
Well, I would really, really like to hear Spaz tell us about how great we are.
Well, since you ask, So you remember we fought that thing. Good thing, Don't forget, Hallow is a great spell.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really saved our bacon. And remember, Ren and Merrick and Snowflake, don't go to the edge of where the Hallow spell's at, because the dragons will breathe fire on you.
Hey, I was the first one. I got him barfed on me. I get a pass on that one.
I guess so.
That's a good tip, though.
Yep, just remember, safety first. It's all fun and games until somebody's a cinder. All right, everybody got their 10 picnics. Didn't miss anybody, did I?
Snowflake, I think you missed, but
Damn it, Snowflake.
I'll put it on him. It's okay. I got it.
Yeah, Snowflake says, are we ready to teleport? I got this. I just got to find the spell, which I don't have memorized. So we'll have to stay another day.
You would have memorized it overnight.
Teleportation circle.
I think it's teleport, actually. No, he has it. It's still level 7.
Well, you know what? I would have cast... Let's see me. Teleportation circle. Where are we at right now?
You're at Tensor's house. He has a teleportation circle there.
Oh, so I don't need to cast a teleportation circle then.
No.
All right. I said, we ready to go?
Yep.
Yep.
And away we go then.
I take an antacid.
Too late now.
Dang, you guys could have left that night. You rolled a 95. You could have just had the description. Nice. So, as the teleportation spell goes off, you guys sort of travel into that darkness with all the stars that you had seen before when you teleported down to the Amendio jungle. And then quickly as that happens, you sort of end up on the edge of the rift. And exactly like the picture shows is exactly where you're at. So you see that the rift is sort of an arid wasteland, and you see occasionally there's a rock formation or a small cusp of shrub oaks that sort of stretches off in all directions except for to the south. And in this direction, you see that the land drops away into this immense gulf of a rift canyon. And the canyon is about almost a mile deep that you see, and it stretches as far as the eye can see, both to the east and to the west. And it's sort of this huge gash that's kind of in the world there. The wind is blowing kind of over these strange rock formations perched on the canyon lips, and they kind of make this hollow moaning sound. About 100 feet below, you can see the trail kind of goes along the edge down to these sort of gates that are there, and you see that there is an immense ruined city that's sort of nestled into this big open cavern. You see there's hundreds of multi-level buildings and towers that rise inside this cavern, creating sort of a vertical landscape of spires and battlements and stone bridges. You also see that there's spires of rocks kind of protrude precariously from the cliff's lower face and rise up before the cityscape, almost like islands out in the middle of the rift. Some of them are barren and capped only with like a bush or a rock, and then others support what look like large castles of their own, and they connect to the city with slender bridges of stone. Unfortunately, though, you see that smoke rises from several parts of the mine city, and it looks like many of the buildings have been recently damaged or destroyed. The source of the damage is readily apparent. The city of Kongen-Thulnir is under siege by a bunch of dragons that you see flying overhead. And you see various red dragons, you see black dragons, green dragons, and they are sort of circling and flying around off to a distance.
Well, we tried.
See ya.
Guess I'll get on Black Angus.
Alrighty.
How far are we away? You said a mile?
No, not even actually. So the picture is you're probably about 400 or 500 feet.
Within range.
Oh, yeah. So that's kind of an overview of the city that you see. The gate itself is at the very northern part, which is right there. That passage that's right next to it is the path that sort of winds up the side of the cliff, and you guys are standing at the top of that path, going down. Could go down towards the city. Yep.
Is the gate open? I forgot if you said.
I didn't actually say whether the gate was open or not, and the gate, I believe, is closed. Yes, the gate is closed.
Where are the dragons at?
So the dragons you see they're not really, they're kind of circling out in the rift itself, and so you can see them just kind of circling around. Occasionally you'll see them sort of dive bomb down towards the city, but you notice that instead of them flying into the city or even getting relatively close, they sort of veer off, almost as if there's something, maybe an invisible wall of force or something that's causing them not to fly into the city itself. But as they do that, you see that if they use their breath weapons, you can see that they do actually the breath weapons go into the city, but it's unusual why, you don't see why they wouldn't actually go into the city and like fly and land and things like that, or even overhead. Yep.
So they are actually attacking the city then?
Oh yeah, yep, they definitely are.
And defenses are being mounted, or?
Yep. So as you guys sit there, you occasionally will see, sort of from these castles, mainly the castles themselves, these sort of things that are on these islands. You can see a couple of them. You'll occasionally see a small, what looks like a tiny little, like, to you from the distance, maybe a dart or an arrow, but realistically it's probably more like a ballista, or some sort of a catapult system that is occasionally shooting things out, and you can see things kind of occasionally shooting out from the city itself.
No, too soon, too soon.
I get that reference.
Can we, from this distance, can we tell the colors and such of the dragons?
Yep. So there's you see mainly kind of the chromatic ones. So you see black, red, green, blue. Those are sort of the dragons that you see.
And they're all kind of working together.
They are. Every single one of them are. They're flying in formations of mixed colors.
That means Tiamat must be in charge.
That's disconcerting. Yeah. No, we killed Tiamat.
Barely.
Well, technically Bailey did, but...
So we don't even know where we need to go in here. I didn't expect it to be manned, to be honest. But is there like anywhere that we can, where are we right now? Are we at the gate, or are we just approaching it?
You're approaching. You're about 500 feet away. The path goes down to about 100 feet down, and that path is where you're at. So you're on the northern part of the city.
Okay. So I'm going to hug the wall and then just try to make it down to the gate without drawing too much attention. Do we see anything in this tower thing?
there's a map for you. You guys are at the very, very top of it. Put you on the ledge just because I figure that's the best way to indicate where you're at. So looking down towards the city gate, you do see that there is a gatehouse that's there. And you see that the gate is not what you would typically expect for a city gate. The building seems to be much bigger. And you do recognize, obviously, that this is a city of giants, right? So the gate is narrow for giants per se, but for the buildings themselves are gargantuan sort of buildings that are there. The ledge going down is about 30 feet wide as it goes along the edge. And the gate is looking down, looks about 40 feet tall. And then you see the structure next to it is made of what looks like bronzewood poles that are bound with heavy chains that kind of hold the gate together. The tower is about 60 feet. The gates are held by bronzewood poles and heavy chains.
Well, Snowflake said that it was a city of giants. Do we see any indication that there are giants around?
So on your initial evaluation, you don't see any giants anywhere. All you see are these occasional dragons sort of strafing and dive bombing, but you don't see anything that looks like giants manning anything, at least on this side of the city. In those castles, you see things shooting out, but again, you can't tell whether there's giants there or not.
I'm gonna eat one of the Mornmon leaves.
Okay.
And then kind of stealth up.
Alrighty, sounds good.
I got everybody targeted.
So, Haleth, as you continue to kind of make your way down the path, sort of keeping close to the side of the rock wall there, you see that the dragons don't really seem to notice you coming down. They're not really paying attention to you. They seem to be focusing mainly on that hexagonal domed building. Yep, that one right there. They seem to be mainly focusing there. You do see a lot of sort of ballista shots going back towards them, and then as you get a little bit closer, the one that's a little bit more towards the north. Yep, that one. So there you do see, now that you get close, is you see what appears to be giants that are standing there, and they're manning 2 ballistas as well as a catapult, and you see them kind of firing away. And as they do, you see that a large green dragon kind of comes down, and as he does, he completely annihilates everybody that's on there, and they just sort of writhe in pain and kind of fall down. You also see that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of what looks like large wire, guy wires, if you want to think of it, that are stretched out across the opening, and they essentially make sort of this mishmash of a net. Not a net, but they're kind of across in different directions, and you notice that's why the dragons aren't flying in, because it's very hard to see for them probably when they're coming in, so they have to divert and whatnot. And occasionally you'll see like one of the young dragons kind of bang up against them and then sort of pummels down towards the bottom of the Rift Crag, or not Rift Crag, but the Rift Canyon. And it's pretty much stretched across the entire city, including covering a lot of the buildings too.
Are you guys coming down the path too? Talon and I are already down here.
I'm gonna make my way to the gate and kind of examine the gate and its integrity, and if it's locked, and so on and so forth.
Yep, so the gate is up. The integrity is actually intact. It appears that the dragons don't really care about the gate due to the fact that they can probably try to get between the guy wires. So you see that the gate is up, it is intact. However, you do see that there are various areas along the top of that gate that typically would be manned, and there are no troops anywhere near the gate itself.
And we're still not seeing any bodies laying around, or any fighters, giant fighters or anything?
Nope, nothing on this side of the gate at least. And you don't see anybody in the tower, the gate, the guard tower on the to the west of it as well. The windows are all pretty much boarded up. There are arrow slits that are there, but you don't hear anybody yelling out or anything of the sort.
Want me to take me and Merrick over top of the gate on Black Angus?
Sure, that'll be quicker.
All right.
I'll Puff kind of go up to this wall and look over right before they take off.
Okay. Yeah, so as Puff peeks over, he kind of goes up and peek as obviously Merrick and Ren are kind of getting up there. So as Puff looks over, he sees that in the main courtyard of the building that you guys can obviously see on your map there, he recognizes that there are in fact sort of scarred rocks and stuff. He does see some giants that appear to be laying down in the ground. They look like sort of hill giants that are there, and they do appear dead. He does also see that there's remains of what looks like bugbears that are kind of there too, that are kind of scattered throughout the courtyard, but he doesn't see anything alive moving at all.
So Puff says there's some giants and some other creatures that are sleeping in the courtyard, it looks like. They're just kind of laying around.
Okay. Does it look like we can get through those wires?
Yeah, so because you're able to kind of see the wires closely and you're sort of taking your time, you definitely can kind of weave through the wires that are there. Plus, you're also kind of on the inside of the city, so there's not as many wires here as opposed to on the edge. Even though I know you guys are sort of towards the gate, they probably don't expect them to kind of cut through there.
How tall is this tower?
60 feet.
Okay. I'll use my rope of climbing I'll throw it up there to...
Sure. So you kind of throw it up there, and the rope kind of goes up towards the top.
We're gonna buzz the tower. Going over.
Alrighty. So Ren and Merrick, as you guys go up and over, at least the gate itself is 40, the tower is 60, so you're able to kind of get up and over that fairly well. And you see exactly kind of what I had described earlier. Talon, you're kind of scaling up the wall. As you do, you recognize that the parapets are obviously made for giants, not for medium-sized creatures. So really the lower part of the parapet is like a 10-foot wall to you. So you kind of climb over and it would, be kind of falling down, not being able to look back over the parapet if you climb all the way across.
Okay.
Once we get over here, I'll send Black Angus back over.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. How about you, Spaz and Snowflake? What are you guys doing?
Well, I don't know how we're going to get over. I guess let's get telekinesis over.
Well, why don't you just take Black Angus and Haleth can climb up the rope? Or just wait and Black Angus will come back again.
Well, we'll just wait on Black Angus then.
Okay. So I think Black Angus is coming over now. How about you, Haleth?
Yeah, I'll go up the rope with.
All right.
Is there any trapdoor or anything like that up here?
Yeah, so as you get up there, Talon and Haleth, as you come back over with him, you do see there's a trapdoor. The trapdoor is made of wood, but the wood is not planks, it's actually tree trunks, right? And it's a 10-foot by 10-foot that you see, and there's a large metal ring that's there. It is closed.
I'll kind of listen to see if I can hear anything from inside the tower.
Yeah, so as you kind of listen through the door there, you can hear discussions going on in a language that I think you speak.
Sounds like there's someone in there, Haleth.
Nope. So you don't recognize the language.
I don't even think we could open this trapdoor together if we wanted to.
Nope, but I can just jump right off the side and float down. Bye.
Yeah, I'll just move the rope and to one of the other sides and climb down.
Okay. Sounds good. So you kind of...
Actually, I'll rappel down.
Nice. So you rappel on down. Snowflake and Spaz, Black Angus is there, so I assume you guys hop back on and get over.
I'll come over to these two. Hey, so when I was up top on top of that tower, I could hear some voices and such from inside. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but there's definitely someone in this tower.
I wonder if we should just keep trying to move on, or if we want to talk to him.
So you see that the door to enter here is about 20 feet high and about 10 feet wide, and it's made of, again, large tree trunks that are there that are kind of strapped together, banded with a large metal.
Hey, Snowflake, do you think they're going to send Blank Angus back for us? I don't know, Spaz. Oh,
I'm sorry, I thought you had hopped on. I brought him back over to you.
we ride over,
Alrighty, sounds good.
but Snowflake's riding behind Spaz
Alright.
because he's my bitch.
That's what happens when you miss.
I look at him like, don't rub your boobs on me. Your moobs.
So you get back over as well.
It's not the moves you gotta watch out for.
This is true.
So you see bodies are kind of strewn across the area here. To the south, about 50 feet or so, you see there is this flowing, almost aqueduct river that's made of stone that you see there, and you see water is slowly pouring from east to west from a well that's there, and then you see there's a bridge that kind of crosses that. Unfortunately, though, as the water kind of goes by, you see as it pours over the edge, it has this sort of pinkish red tint from blood of both giants, as well as there are a couple dragons that are actually laying here as well, and you can kind of see their bodies are laying in this water, and the water is now tainted by their blood as it pours over the edge into the canyon. Unusually, though, you don't see anybody moving throughout the actual city grounds. It appears that there's completely desolate. And obviously there's large bodies laying about, so there are things that you could hide as you moved across if you were so desire.
Where do you think they hid this phylactery?
No idea. It just said in the city somewhere, right?
The dragons are concentrating fire on the castle thing.
Yeah. Now there's two sections of the town. I'm just showing you the northern side, but yes, they're focused there. There's another castle to the south as well that they seem to be ignoring right now.
We haven't seen any sign of Dragotha or Lashana, right?
No, you haven't seen any silver dragons, and you haven't seen any undead dragons. These are just the chromatic dragons that are attacking.
My bet's it's in there somewhere, because that's the dragon's one in that.
That makes sense. I'm gonna scoot around this side to get a better look at things.
Okay. So Haleth, as you come around, you see kind of in the rocks, and it doesn't see you, but you see there are two orcs there. Looks like a female orc with her child, and they're kind of cowering behind the rocks, and you can kind of hear her sort of whispering what sounds like soothing words to the child itself, as if trying to calm it.
I don't understand her, but I'll reply in Goblin.
Okay. Alrighty. Immediately when, what were you want to tell her?
I'll tell her, stay hidden. We're not here to hurt you.
Okay. And she quickly looks and she says to you back in Goblin, she says, hide quickly, they'll see you. I promise. They found us all. We can't move.
I'm assuming she's talking about the dragon, so I'll scoot over here and try to get some cover.
Okay. At that point, kind of on the far side of the building or the town, way down, almost about mid-map here, you see a bunch of bugbears come out, and you see them kind of unleash a bunch of arrows at a dragon flying by, and obviously none of them hit them, and then they sort of duck back into the building itself.
If I'm still close enough to her, I'll ask, how do we get into the city?
She looks to you and she says, "You are in the city. This is the city."
Into the palace.
She says, "No, you're not allowed in the palace. Only giants are allowed in the palace. And certain giants at that." She's like, why do you want in the palace?"
We're searching for something that the dragons are after. We want to take it away from here. If we do, then they'll go away.
She kind of looks at you, sort of untrusting, as you say that, and she says, "Does Sir Silver Eye know you're here?"
No, he doesn't.
You see a look of disturbance kind of across her face. She says, "I think you better talk to King Silvereye first."
Where is he holed up at?
He's somewhere in one of the towers. I don't know which. I assume the main tower, but maybe the southern tower.
Is that the main tower behind us?
She says, "Oh no," and she kind of points off to one of the islands of rock that's out in the rift cabin, and you could see kind of the small bridges. The bridge to the one that you see there is actually quite far below the level you're at, so this must be like a multi-level city. But she kind of points at in the sort of the southern southwestern direction. She says, "That way."
Oh, you mean the one that the dragons are currently attacking?
She said, "Yes. Don't worry, they'll be back. They keep working on that building and then coming back and strafing the city."
Okay, stay safe. Let's try to stay hidden.
She's kind of nods and says, "You too."
Alright, guys.
Are you just talking with an orc?
Yeah, she's hiding for her life and hiding her, well, I'm assuming it's
Why
her
didn't
children.
you kill it?
I think we've got bigger problems to deal with right now.
It's never a bad time to kill an orc.
Well, if you want to, be my guest. But I'm more concerned about the fact that we have a phylactery to find and there's dragons attacking this place.
And at least they're fighting it against.
What phylactery you gotta find? I thought we already found the phylactery.
We gotta find
That was
it again.
1,500 years ago.
I didn't know I was so old.
Oh, I forgot to tell Tensor I wanted to pull my money out of the stock market that I put in.
So what are we doing? What did you find out, Haleth?
That the king here is King Silvereye, I think. And he's probably down in that tower that's being attacked, but I don't know. Maybe if we talk to him, maybe he could help us out. I don't know if they're protecting the phylactery or what the connection is, but
And he's an orc or a
Hey,
giant?
there's a giant in there
Giant?
that says he's got to go take a leak. I would stand back.
Suddenly, the door flies open, and you see a large hill giant standing there. And his eyes open wide as he sees you there, and he kind of yells back to his back in the room. And you immediately see he kind of grabs this large tree trunk and kind of brings it up as a club.
does anybody speak giant?
I wouldn't. I was moving out of the way. I didn't want to get peed on, but if it's just a tree trunk, I'll get back in there. wrong tree trunk. I'm not scared of this one.
Nice.
I'll just hold up my hands and say, whoa, we're here to help. See if he can
All right.
understand us.
He suddenly starts kind of chuckling and laughing as Snowflake also says something to him. And he kind of says in broken common, he says, "Why little people here?" And he points, he's like, "Don't you see dragons?"
Maybe we're here to help with the. Oh, he wouldn't understand me. I don't know giant.
He's speaking in kind of broken common.
We're here to rescue you.
He says, "Oh, 1 minute." And he kind of walks around the corner, walks over Spaz, takes a leak in the corner as he's talking to you. He says, "Okay, what you need?"
I think we need to talk to Silvereye.
Just then he looks to you and he says, kind of bends down and kind of gets his face right close to yours, and he says, "Why you need Silvereye?"
Because we want to destroy the phylactery.
You protect me to get to the palace?
Sure.
He says, "What is a phylactery?"
Yeah, it's a big container.
We don't have container. He turns back and he kind of says something back to the other people in the tower. And as he does that, you see there are 7 other hill giants that sort of are moving about inside and coming up towards the area and looking out.
And they all have to pee.
Right. Then he kind of looks and he says, "You're not with the and then he goes, Timakal Nushara."
Doesn't sound familiar.
And he says, and not with Karagak the Ruin, are you?
Anybody? I don't think so.
Then you're with Karagakakan, huh?
We're with Tensor.
Then he kind of looks to the rest and he says, "New tribe in town."
We're new.
He says, "On second thought, piss off." And he walks back in and closes the door.
Coward.
We have to get better at this negotiation stuff.
What the heck? He's a little sensitive. What can I say?
Hey,
What did the-
Spaz
what
steps
did-
up. He's like, "Do you want me to negotiate with him?"
Yeah, no, sure. Go ahead. Can't do any worse than me.
So, Greg, I do have to ask.
Are you
something.
kidding?
That's awesome.
I got those eyes as charming. Are they attunement? I can't see them in my inventory. for
Oh,
some
I'm
reason.
sorry. Yeah, maybe I forgot to identify him. I apologize. I don't
Oh,
know.
they just called glasses.
Yeah, let me find him here.
I think they're the second thing in my inventory.
They do require attunement.
Well. I'll do something else then.
Alrighty.
I'll go. Oh, Mr. Giant.
Alright. And he goes through the other side of the door. What?
Won't you help us?
No.
Please?
Nope.
You know you want to help us.
Nope.
But you'd be a giant help if you helped us.
He says, I'm not leader.
Well, where is leader?
He says, about 30 feet south of us.
Take us to the factory.
What? Factory?
I mean, phylactery.
I could take you to the factory.
No, the phylactery. Take us to the phylactery.
Finally, you see the door opens and one giant comes out. He says, it's a different one. He's like, I'll take you.
Where's the rest of you?
They're too scared.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Okay. He said, we're going to the factory.
No. The phylactery.
I don't know the phylactery. I only know the factory.
Take us to your leader then.
He says, okay. And you see he kind of tries to hunch down and sort of really crouches down and kind of runs with his knees bent, even though he's about 10 feet tall now. And he comes over here and he rolls over this dead, half-burnt hill giant. He says, here's my leader. He dead.
Is he Big Chief?
Yeah?
Silver Eye.
Where's the Silver Eye at?
And you see, he sort of gets this angry look across his face. He says, why you want Akeem Silvereye? You're part of Rift Crawlers, aren't you?
No. We're not rift crawlers. We're here to help you. And you need the Silver Eye to help you.
You work with Chargar, don't you?
Nope, I don't work with Chargar.
Show me your arm.
I have to stick out my arm.
And he kind of takes his fingernail, which is about the size of your arm, and he pulls up your sleeve a little bit to take a look, and he goes, yeah, okay, you not with Chargar, I can tell. He says, okay, follow me.
Nope, I'm with Magnificent Seven.
Never heard of him.
I'm the leader.
You're puny for leader.
I'm Big Chief.
Big Chief. He kind of runs to here, and as he does, you see one of the dragons kind of flies by, and he quickly ducks underneath. He says, quick, hide!
I get under the bridge.
Alrighty. You see that it's a group of green dragons that are kind of flying across the area there, and as they do, you do see that they kind of do sort of a strafing run as they see him kind of running across. He tries to hide as well. He's like, good, everybody get in a line. That's a good idea.
Tactical advice from a hill giant. Perfect.
A line for the lightning dragon.
I know. I'm just looking because everybody's in a line, so that's why I threw that out there.
But I'm under the bridge.
Yes, you're good. You're under the bridge. And as you guys are there, you do see that there are 4 green dragons that are kind of strafing along here.
Can we tell? Are they young or adults or?
They're adults.
Probably adults. Yeah.
Yep, they're adults. Yeah, most of the dragons that you see flying appear to be adult size. I mean, there's some young ones too. You also see that there are what looks like some elder dragons that are here as well. I'm not sure if they're, what age they are, if they're old or ancient, but definitely look older, no doubt about it. And you kind of see them kind of fly by, and as they do, they sort of spray this poison breath as they fly through. One of them sort of gets caught up in one of the guy wires and falls down. As that happens, and the giant kind of curses at them as they fly on by. Nobody gets any of the poison on them. It's kind of hits the sort of the areas because they weren't able to behind you. He says, "Good, come on, let's go." And he runs across the bridge. And he kind of runs next to these large huts that are here, and he's like, "Quick, follow me! Hurry, hurry! Hurry!"
Bob and weave, guys. Serpentine.
That's right. As he gets to the next one, he kind of peeks around the wall and takes a look, and he says, "Good, good. Come on, come on." And then he runs over here, and you guys see these steps that go down. And he says, "Okay, this is tricky." And he kind of climbs over the edge, and he starts climbing down the ladder. He's like, "Hopefully no dragons get me." He gets down about 25 feet, and a dragon flies by and literally lights him up as he falls down to his death.
Well, that didn't exactly go to plan.
How tall was the ladder?
So the ladder descends about 120 feet down, and you do see there's what looks like a smaller city below. The problem, though, is this ladder is made for giants. So the rings are separated about 7 feet apiece across. So you could easily, put your rope of climbing around it or whatnot. But if you're going to climb down, it's going to be difficult because you kind of have to use giant ladder to get down.
Well, we got 2 that can float, right?
Yeah, I'm floating.
Yeah, I can climb down.
As you look over the edge, you see at the bottom of the steps is this large bloody heap of what looks like an adult blue dragon that's sort of sitting there. And you see there's several giants down there that are sort of peeling off like teeth and horns and claws really quickly as they're there. They're kind of trying to peel all this stuff off. They see the hill giant body fall down, and they sort of scatter as that happens.
Anybody want to ride
Was
with
it
me?
one of the green ones that hit that guy?
No, it was an adult blue dragon that was down at the bottom. Yes, it was one of the green ones that hit him. Yes, that's correct.
So I'm floating down.
Okay, gotcha. So Merrick kind of goes over the edge and starts to float on down. So you guys see Merrick going over.
I'm gonna pull out a vial and quickly dip a couple arrows.
Okay, sounds good.
Anybody want to ride with me?
I will.
Okay. We'll dive bomb down on Black Angus.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys hop on and start diving down.
I'll keep an eye out for any dragons that notice our party and start making a attack run at them.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So as you watch, you see that the last strafing event seems to have kind of pulled them away. They don't really see your group at this point.
Okay.
Right. I'll check. What do I see if I turn around and look?
Yeah. So as you look, as you had kind of left that last building, you see a very familiar figure, actually. Let me find. Sorry, I thought I had the thing up. So as you look, you see a small, almost gnome-like creature, and you see he's kind of dressed in full armor. He has a large, bulbous nose, and you immediately recognize it as the gentleman from Alhaster. Yeah, kind of like Gollum.
Oh.
Similar.
And he's up top here with us?
What the heck is that? Yeah, he is. He's kind of right up, kind of in the building behind you guys. And you immediately recognize it as the ominous Fabler from Red Hand. Or from the Prince of Red Hand. But he's dressed in this full armor, and he's got a full helmet on and whatnot, and he kind of looks to you and he says, "Ah, you're here."
What are you doing here?
I'm looking for you.
Why would anybody be expecting us here?
I've been tracking you guys.
I'll go over to Haleth. How could he possibly have tracked us if we teleported from Alhaster back to Tensors and then from Tensors to here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He's like, I remember you guys from the party, and I'm very, very interested in your adventures and whatnot, and so I have been trying to do some divination, or having people do divination. He can't divinate, to find you, and they said that you were planning on coming here, so that's why I'm here. It was hard. I tried to find you on, you guys were on some island, but I couldn't get there.
I'm gonna insight to see if I believe him.
Sure, sounds good.
Well, if he did, I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think he's telling the truth. And how could he? What is divination? Does that mean he's like scrying on us or something?
And he kind of...
I'm saying that to Haleth.
Sure. And he kind of walks over and he says, and my name's Grezelfek. I didn't have a chance to tell you that. He's like, I left Zeech once I found you guys. That guy's nasty. He's like, besides, I'm a Spriggan.
How could he have? How could he have spied on us if we were in Tensors? I would think he would be, his domicile would be all protected from that kind of stuff. I guess we need to talk to. Well, I guess Snowflake's still up here, right?
Yes.
He is.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to Snowflake though.
He don't want to talk to you either. Actually, Snowflake's going to go get a snack.
Do you remember this guy, Haleth?
No.
Just then he says, here, I'll prove it to you. And as he does that, you see that he sort of kind of wiggles a little bit. And as he does, he goes from the size of a gnome to the size he turns into a large creature. So he stands about 12 feet high. And as he does that, he's like, "See, I'm a Spriggan. I was spying on Alhaster, actually."
I'll send Black Angus back up to get whoever's left at the top.
Okay.
So what is your purpose for meeting us here then?
So I went to Red Hand because I wanted to meet Prince Zeech, because I was going to sort of try to get information about what was going on there, and I was going to chronicle him. But I found you guys, and I saw all the things you guys did there, and I really want to come with you and chronicle the adventures. So I've been trying to find you so that way I could write your book.
Oh, were you at the party?
Yeah, I was the guy who did all the entertainment. Don't you remember? Walked on my hands. I did the whole play thing.
Oh, yeah.
Just then you see Black Angus kind of come up and lands on the ledge there. So, Ren, Black Angus would tell you that there's a large creature talking to Aelith and Talon.
Snowflake jumps on Black Angus.
Okay.
He goes, "Giddy up, Black Angus."
All right, Black Angus will take him down.
Okay. He's like, "You don't want me to continue with you guys? You can't, you're not going to let me, I won't get in your way, I promise."
Well, we don't believe that you're here for good reasons. Because there's no way you found us at that you were able to find us or see us at the other places that we've been.
Well,
Who are you working with?
he says, I'm not working with anybody. I'm working on my own. And he kind of looks at you and, go ahead.
Don't you think you should have talked to us before you just arrived at the scene of this battle and said, "Hey, I want to join you guys, because I want to write a book about you"?
He sort of sighs for a second. He says, "You're right. My tact isn't very good, is it?"
What do you know about what's going on here?
He says, "Well, here's the thing. I'm not being completely truthful."
Yeah, we picked up on that.
He's like, "I'm a Spriggan, and I live with my chieftain, who's a stone giant, named Colvant Granite Bones. And he had this terrible dream. He saw this monolith that rised up out of the ground, spitting poison, killing everything and causing worms. So he told me to go secretly to Red Hand to see if I could find anything out. So when I arrived there, I saw the palace being built, and I was actually kind of working in the kitchens, but I got caught snooping around. So at that point, Prince Zeech told me that I had to work for him, so I begged for him to allow me to do that. And so he did, and I was able to spy. But I found out that he has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't know what's going on. So I left the tower to find you guys, because you seem to have some ideas of big adventures and whatnot, and that's why.
And is this boss of yours, the giant, is he here in the rift area here?
No, he lives far north.
And he saw this monolith coming out of the ground up there?
No, he just saw it as a dream. It was kind of a general area, and he saw that dead would come out of the graves, and the land was consumed by worms, and so he trusted me, and so he talked with the oracle named Grizz, and she told him that this prophecy or this thing he saw was going to ruin the tribe, and he panicked. So he decided to send me down to find out if it was really true or not, and he told me that Alhaster was likely the most common place I would find something. And so, yeah, that's what I was doing.
I'll check to see if I believe any of what he's saying now.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I'll come over and whisper to him. I don't know. What do you think? I think now he's telling us the truth, but in the beginning he wasn't.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling that I got.
I'll send Black Angus back up.
All right, Black Angus.
You guys are just twiddling your thumbs waiting for a dragon to attack.
The Black Angus
Well,
shows back up.
regardless of what we do, we're kind of exposed right here. So we probably should move to either continue this conversation or whatever.
All right.
He's like, if it's okay, I'd like to stay in my truthful shape. That way I don't have any problems. I can climb down okay.
A Spriggan is just a giant, a type of giant.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can climb down. Let me get down there and tell our friends, our party, that you're gonna travel with us for a bit.
Oh, okay. You want me to wait up here for a minute? It'll take me a while to get down the ladder.
Yeah, just be careful. There's dragons flying around,
Oh.
like blasting people off of the ladder.
So he quickly shrinks down. He says, second thought, can I hitch a ride too?
We'll send Black Angus up if Ren approves. And I'll like step over the side and climb down behind the ladder so I'm not seen.
Okay, alrighty.
I'll hop on Black Angus and
Okay.
head back down. We'll
Alright.
we'll send him back up in a couple minutes.
It's like, oh, okay, sounds good. See you in a few, friends. And you guys kind of move back down towards the bottom there.
I'm gonna have Puff stay up here and keep an eye on him, kind of hidden up on top of this building or tower or whatever it is.
Okay. So as you continue down the steps there, Haleth, you're able to kind of slide along the side and do your thing. I just need a acrobatics roll from you.
I have the cloak, so I just
Oh,
climb down.
that's right. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. So yeah, you climb down without any difficulty. As you guys get down to the bottom here, you see that this area appears to be kind of like the bowels of the city. It's filthy and kind of stinks. You notice there's trash and stuff that are kind of piled up all over. You don't really see any damage from the dragons down here at all. It's almost as if they sort of ignored it. You do see that there's obviously these buildings that are all along the eastern side that are here, and then there's a large gate that sort of leads to this bridge that goes across. And it's a natural stone bridge, and it's about 20 feet wide and about 10 feet thick that connects the way. And there's lots of guy wires that sort of cross in front of the bridge and behind. And you even see there's some really good cleverly hidden chains that are there that you can see some of them have been broken by probably the dragons and things like that.
So, Merrick, do you remember the gnome at Prince Siege's party? Grazeltak, I think. It was the gnome that was basically the jester or the fool type.
Yeah, I don't remember what he looked like though, or his name.
Well, he's up top and says that he's here to help us. He was kind of lying to me from what I get, but He said that his chiefdom sent him here because they had some kind of dreams or visions about what sounds like the Phylactery. So
I'll send Black Angus back up for that dude.
Do you think he's going to be helpful or a hindrance? What do you think?
I've never. I mean, do you know what a Spriggan is? It's like a giant. I don't know. He could come in handy.
Just keep an eye on him, I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't very honest with us at first, but after we talked to him for a little bit, he seems to be telling the truth now. I've got Puff up there watching him. He's just looking over the edge at us, keeping an eye on us.
As you guys look up, you see him peeking, and he quickly pulls his head back. And he peeks back over again after a few seconds.
So, is Black Angus picking him up then?
Yeah, he's heading back up there to pick him up.
Okay, gotcha. So Black Angus arrives up there, and he quickly hops onto the back of Black Angus, and he comes down. As he comes down to the bottom, he looks to the party and he says, "Ah, you're all here. Good to see you all. Hello, 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 hello,
No.
hello."
All right.
Okay, where to?
Well, that bridge is about 200 foot across. Are we really going to try to run across there while the dragons aren't flying around strafing?
Well, do you know anything about the king here or the leader here and this city? Being that you're in service of a giant.
I do. The city is run by the tribe of Kargokakhan. And Alchemy Silvereye is the cloud giant who runs the city. However, rumor is he's gotten really old and he's on his deathbed. I understand there's 2 other tribes here too, by the way. There's the Timakal Nushada, and that's a tribe of both fire giants as well as frost giants. And they have moved into the city about 1,000 years ago and have been here for most of the time. And then I did hear from one of the giants before he got killed that there was an attempted coup. And a new one called the Kargok Durin are here too. And they're hill giants. Happened several months ago.
So, do you think it's possible that we can negotiate with somebody in here to get them to show us into the city?
Yeah, probably. I think they're a little preoccupied, though, as he points out to the dragons that are flying around. I mean, the city's probably ours to run, don't you think?
Well, probably. I don't want to end up having to deal with a bunch of angry giants after us while we're trying to look for things. You know, if we don't have to.
Good idea. You see that most of the buildings here actually appear to be made for humanoid size creatures. There's a few that are big, like for giants and things like that, but most of them have, looks like they had giant doors, but the doors have been modified where they have a smaller door and kind of filled in with wood around where the large door had filled the slot. The windows appear to be either boarded up or smaller windows sort of in the corner there of some of the windows and whatnot. That seems unusual. There are some buildings that have large doors, obviously, but there's a lot that have just medium-sized doors.
Well, what are our thoughts here? Are we going to try to go out across that bridge, or are we just going to try to go it on our own?
And search the whole city looking for a phylactery that we really have only seen once?
Well, then somebody needs to negotiate with the giants, and I don't speak giant, so it's not going to be me.
Guess that makes it Snowflake.
Well, I can definitely try. Although how well I'm going to do.
So as you guys look out towards that pinnacle over there, you do see that the tower itself is about 110 foot tall, and it does have a stone pinnacle at the top. And the tower is pretty heavily fortified. You see that it has what looks like heavy catapults, as well as ballista atop of it. You do see that there's a winch and a pulley that seems to bring up heavy supplies from below all the way to the top of that tower. You also see, obviously, there's that opening that you can see there on the map as well that has a large ladder that climbs up. You see that the tower kind of gives sort of a great tactical advantage over anyone who attacks the city itself and has very nice clear lines of fire. And you do see that they're pretty effective at attacking the dragons. However, you see the tower is taking quite a beating. And you see that the dragons are still pretty kind of working on it pretty heavily. You do recognize that up on the top you see that there is not only hill giants up there, but you do see some fire giants as well that are using the siege weapons that are attacking the dragons there.
All right, well, what is the plan?
Do we trust this Grazelfic guy enough to maybe help speak on our behalf?
I'd say probably not.
Well, do we trust him more or less than having Snowflake do it for us?
Well, I'd trust Snowflake over a complete stranger, at least. The worst Snowflake has done is send me to another plane.
Crowd's effect gets big again.
Well, you can always have Spaz talk to him.
We could. That would be fantastic.
Well, let's go there and talk to him.
Okay, let's go.
As you come to the entrance here, you see this is a sort of an archway per se. There's not a gate or anything that's here. That's just the archway. And on this archway, you see it has lots of sort of arcanic runes that are carved all along it, as well as symbols in giant. And it appears to be magical ruins. However, they don't appear to be currently active at this point. And Snowflake would tell you, written in giant, it talks about the kind of giant lore of how they are here to protect and to keep something safe. But it doesn't really talk about what it is.
Can we tell if any previous dragon attacks have made it down this far onto this bridge?
So you do see that there are some of the guy wires that have been broken. You do see some scorch marks and some markings that there has been attacks on here, and but it does kind of look like that there has been some attacks that have attacked here, but you don't see any bodies laying on here at all.
Okay.
All right. If we're going across there, I'm going to double dash 180 feet to get across there. Has Grazzletech given Spaz any like nasty looks, considering Spaz beat him in a musical contest at the party?
Interesting. So he does not appear to give Spaz any bad looks. Matter of fact, he seems overly excited to be with you all. Almost giddy, like a kid.
I think I gotta say that any friend to Prince Zeech, I'm not saying this out loud, I'm just whispering it to Haleth.
Sure.
Any friend of Prince Zeech has got to be an enemy of ours.
Well, he did say that his clan sent him down to Alhaster to look at things, or to investigate, so he kind of fell in with Prince Zeech from what he said.
So he's not really a friend, he's a spy.
Yep. According to him. He did lie to us to start with, and then he told us this other story, so I'm still cautious about him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all back.
Oh, okay, great. Excellent. So I'm going to have you all give initiative rolls, so that way I know where you're at in the order of going across the bridge. It'll be easier for me to track, because obviously the giants are looking for intruders and things, so it's just to see when they will see you as you come across the bridge. So, Haleth, you'll be making a quick jaunt across. You said you're doing a double dash. Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay.
180 feet.
Alrighty. Why don't you go ahead and... oops, let me...
You there, Ren?
I don't think he's back just yet.
Yeah, he hasn't rolled his initiative yet. That's
Oh, gotcha. Alright.
Oh, my bad. I thought that last open one was Snowflake.
Oh, I think that was when Brian was gone, or wasn't back yet, or wasn't logged in, or whatever. I think that's why we had 5.
Oh, I'm back, sorry.
No worries, man. Do you mind rolling an initiative for me real quick? Just to help determine who gets across the bridge when.
Making a PB&J.
Nice.
Is there enough room for Black Angus to fly under the wires?
If he stayed close to the bridge itself, yes, because it doesn't prevent people from going across the bridge. It only prevents dragons from getting towards the bridge. Does that make sense? It's kind of like drape to prevent them from hitting the bridge. Yep. You want to be there? Yep. If you want a certain location, you can definitely put your character in a certain location. Nice, Haleth. So, Haleth, as you run across the bridge, you can hear some giants up top immediately yelling back and forth. And as you get into here, you see that kind of tucked behind the corner are 2 giants. There's a fire giant and a hill giant here. And they're sort of startled by you running over.
I'll just say in Goblin, hoping that they understand. I'm not
Okay.
here to hurt you. Just calm down. Have people coming.
Alrighty, sounds good. So, Razelfek also does the same, but he doesn't have nearly the speed that you do. And so you see him kind of dashing across the bridge as fast as he can.
I'll go to there. Just stay behind Grazelfek.
Okay. Sounds good. So as you get to there, you see one of the giants up above kind of releases one of the catapults, and you see this large ball, but it doesn't look like a stone. It actually looks like a green sort of bulbous head of some sort of creature, and you see it kind of fling out towards you. And as it does, it misses the bridge and goes over the edge. And as it goes down, you see that it's a large carrion crawler head that's wrapped with a bunch of gauze all the way, or like rope all the way around it. And you see it kind of go flying, and you hear some yelling up above as that happens. Talon.
Well, I'm going to post up and wait until I see a dragon making an attack toward the bridge, if that happens.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to shoot him.
Alrighty, sounds good.
So I see that one out there. What's he doing?
Yep. So you see that he is sort of making his way to you. As he does, you immediately recognize that there's 5 of these young dragons that seem to be kind of flying in a group, heading towards the bridge. They've sort of recognized somebody moving across. And then just behind them, you see a large red dragon kind of come around as well, and he sort of seems to be coming with the group as they're coming towards the bridge itself.
All right. So they are definitely coming toward the bridge.
It does appear to be that way. Yep. They see some easy targets that they've been kind of hitting the tower for a while and having to dodge these ballistas, and they see people running across the bridge that look like easy targets.
All right. I am going to fire some stunning arrows then.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Alrighty. Alright, so you hit the first one. And you see he's kind of stunned, and he just sort of starts to float down, or fly down, whatever way it is.
And I'll take aim at another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use my Dread Ambusher to take a third.
Yep.
Oh, and I forgot to apply the Dread Ambusher damage.
Okay.
So 5 more.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And I still have a bonus action. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything else.
Okay.
Well, I'll hide as a bonus action. I'll kind of find some rubble or something to hide behind.
Alright. So...
Can you do that as a bonus action?
I would assume so. I've got all my movement and all that,
I
right?
thought only rogues could hide as a bonus action.
Well, if not, I'll just take cover. Whatever.
Okay, sounds good. So a second sort of catapult does get launched towards the bridge again.
Idiots.
And you see this one goes wide as well. Snowflake.
Oops, Snowflake moves to there.
Okay.
And let's see. Let's make sure I'm reading this right. Would I'm just reading what Thunderstep does. Must be within 5 feet. Snowflake's going to go there, and he is going to radiant action to cast Thunderstep
Okay.
when Spaz gets over there next to him.
Okay.
Actually, I'll move to there. So once Spaz gets over next to him, he'll Thunderstep.
Okay. So just then you see a one of the ballistas shoots down at the Fabler. Ooh, this hits. Now as you see this, Merrick, for you, as you see this ballista bolt come down, this is the size of a small tree, essentially. So it's probably, a few feet in diameter that's there. And he takes a bunch of damage as it kind of goes across. As that happens, he, you see that it has a chain that's attached to it. Oh, and he's able to dodge out of the way as it hits him. It sort of skins off, and the harpoon kind of goes dragging across, and then the chain quickly kind of gets pulled back by them. All right, Ren.
Okay. There's my first move. He's gonna fly just over these guys' heads.
Pick me up before you go. Line like a yo-yo.
And then he'll land over there. He's gonna use this action to dash or whatever.
Right, I got you. Do you pick up Merrick on your way?
Oh, what?
Oh, never
I
mind.
took the wrong person.
Oh,
That's my
yeah,
bad.
no worries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
send
no
Spaz
problem.
back. Yeah, if Merrick wants me to, I will. If I can. Kind of close to that big dude. I don't know if I can get my
That's fine.
Black Angus down.
You can pick him up.
Thank you.
All right, Ren, you all set?
Yep.
All right. So, you see another ballista takes a shot. And misses Black Angus. Spaz.
Well, I messed up reading that thing, but oh well. I'll go over here and step right next to my boy Snowflake.
All right.
Snowflake's going to cast Thunderstep.
Okay. How far can you go?
That'll move us 90 feet.
Okay. You guys all hear the huge, large thunder crack kind of emanates out and sort of rumbles throughout the entire area.
Then Spaz is going to, well, not that far. He's got to go back just a little bit. He's going to dash
Okay.
to there, fucking leaving his buddy Snowflake like a freaking douche. And, yep, and then he's going to bonus action Misty Step,
Okay.
which will get him to there.
Okay.
You left Snowflake out in the middle of the bridge.
I missed the freaking spell.
Oh, man.
So I was kind of locked into it.
It's all good. Good thing is the snowflakes never died, so we're okay. No big deal.
Well, here's the thing. It's part of his contingency, and I think his contingency, if something gets close to him or whatever, he thundersteps as his contingency spell, right?
Correct.
And that uses his reaction.
Right. That is what he does. Anything else for you, Spaz?
I think that's it.
Alrighty. Haleth.
Can I crawl up the side of this wall and get out of the reach of these giants?
Yeah.
I'm going to try that just in case they didn't understand Goblin and they're angry at me.
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, because the entrance is, the opening is about 30 feet wide, or 30 feet high, but then it obviously is a tunnel that goes up, so you technically could kind of climb up through the shaft. The shaft is probably about, I don't know, 40 feet in diameter or something like that. I don't know, however wide this is here. 10, 20, 30 feet in diameter.
Alright, so I'm going to try to crawl up the side of the wall so that I'm out of, like, smacking range.
Sure.
And then just tell them just to calm down. Again, in Goblin, I don't know what they speak.
Sure. Okay. Sounds
So
good.
I'll just, yeah. If they try to attack Spaz or something, I might shoot at them, but that's it.
Okay. See, Grezelfek continues to run and run past Snowflake, and he's like, "What are you doing leaving me out in the open? I'm your chronicler. I'm making you famous." As he runs as fast as he can.
How high up am I?
So Black Angus landed or was right on the ground or close to it, I think.
Okay, good, because I'll climb off and run the rest of the way
Okay.
to there.
All right. You see another carrion crawler head comes flying down and hits him. As he does, you see this big splat of just this green goo flies all over, and all of a sudden, he's paralyzed. And that whole 10-foot area is kind of covered with this poisonous liquid that's just kind of dripping off the edge of the thing. You hear giants cheering up above.
Black Angus was with me, so
Yep.
I didn't realize he rolled different.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotcha. The green
So,
dragon.
so
Yep.
you're saying that my boy Snowflake's cut off without having to run through green goo?
Correct.
Okay.
So he flies to there. You see him try to get through the wires, and he doesn't, and he kind of bangs up against them, and he quickly flies back. Oh yeah, Puff. I'm sorry. I know Puff's with you, but I don't know what you would like him to do, or if he's actually up on the upper map. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he'll just stick around there.
Okay.
I'll target the other dragon.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I'll do the giants after yours.
I'll use Stalker's Flurry.
Okay. Ooh.
He still missed. Okay.
All right.
And then I'll run 35 and then bonus action dash.
Okay. So he recovers. And he also, let's see. Oh, actually goes to there. As he flies in,
Oh, come on, if he tilts it just a little bit more, he's
I
going
know.
to get Snowflake.
he is. Yep. I was just measuring it so I could see how big it was. Alright. All those people need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Whoops, I double clicked her.
I'll take
Double
the first
clutch.
one. It's a 21. I'll take the first one.
You see if Snowflake has anything that will help him out with this, and I don't think he does. But he's got a friend named Spaz
Alrighty.
who gives him a 15.
Alright. Ryan, you're okay with yours? You guys do have one group inspiration. If you want to use it now, you could.
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright. So you all fail?
Ooh, even Black Angus, huh?
Oh, yeah.
He's an ancient red dragon then. He's got 22. Whoops, I'm sorry. I added that one.
It's alright. It's not a, it's actually higher than a 22.
Is it? Well,
Yep. Here it comes. Ready for a lot of dice?
I'll finish that. We're going to have a lot of damage.
And I need everybody to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, gonna blow us over the side. Oh boy. I'm actually on top of Black Angus, so if
Yep.
Black Angus goes, I'm going with him.
You're going with it. Yep, I got you.
I'm looking to see if he had absorb elements, and he does not.
Ouch. Well, I can't argue with
Strength.
that.
All right.
Yay!
All right. So everybody fails again. You get hit with a hurricane force wind, and I need both Snowflake as well as Ren to roll a d6 to see how many feet you get knocked over. You see the Fabler goes off the bridge and just continues to fall.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Actually, it would be over here. All right. So you all are blown off the bridge.
Could he use his reaction, the contingency
Oh, that's
plan?
right. He can. You're right. I forgot about Thunderstep. You're absolutely correct. So he actually can Thunderstep Spaz. I thought he could. Can you do it beforehand?
It's a reaction.
Yeah, I think he can actually. Can he?
I don't know about the contingency spell.
Yeah, I don't know what his contingency was.
His contingency has always been Thunderstep, and he's always used it if he's gone to take damage. That's exactly how he used it. So actually, he wouldn't take any of it. And he would Thunderstep 90 feet away. Does he have a... He still has a 7th level slot, though, right? Was it 7?
Nah, it's only...
Oh, it's contingency. Never mind. Yeah, so
well, contingency is the spell, but I mean, the spell slot... I think it does burn a spell slot.
Right.
And it's 3rd level.
Right. Okay, gotcha. So he would be able to. That's right. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
I don't know if it... Does it go... I'll read the contingency.
I think reaction is... It occurs before the other action does, right? I think you can take
no,
it anytime.
the action goes before the reaction.
But before the damage, I think.
Yeah, because you can shield and things like that. That's right.
Yeah.
Your reaction is an action that is made in response to a trigger of some kind, and as such it can be used when it is not your turn.
There you go. Alrighty. And then the dragon flies back. I can't remember how much he flew, but we'll give it to there. I'll fix his damage here in a second.
Who's that?
Snowflakes.
Oh, I get him.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
It'd be 0, and he
Yep.
would get, what, 22...
22 temporary back. Just then you see a heavy catapult kind of shoots off towards the large dragon, and it misses. Second one does the same, and misses. Just then the giant kind of walks up to Merrick, has its sword out and pointing at him, and says something. And then he, as he's talking, he points up towards Haleth. You see the hill giant kind of yells up. To the other ones. Alrighty. He recovers. And at that point, you see another catapult kind of throws a stone, and it's heading towards Talon.
DM's got hot dice.
Talon, you see this large carrion crawler head kind of comes flying at you. You try to move out of the way, but unfortunately it kind of hits the ground right next to you. Both kind of hits your legs and hits the ground. As it does, it explodes, and you see this juice flies everywhere. I'll need a Constitution saving throw. Nice. So as it does, the poison kind of drips all over you, but none of it really touches your skin at all. Snowflake.
Now, Snowflake will start trying to parlay with the giants, saying, "We are friendly. We're here to help.
Okay.
Don't hurt us."
Alrighty.
And then he'll do like my buddy Jim did and cast Fireball on the ancient red dragon. See how that works out.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
You did that?
Well, when Jim Hell went in our game, he's like, "I cast Fireball." And it, like, on the ancient red dragon, he's like, "Yes." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, at least you didn't meta. Can't blame.
No, and I made up like a little meme for him, and it was pretty freaking funny. Because you see, like, absorb 0 damage.
It's something I do.
Yes. What happens when your Arcane Twister doesn't have a high intelligence score? They cast Fireball on the red dragon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see, 120 feet. Well, he's at 100 feet. But, yeah, it's freak. I'm not familiar with him that much, so. Ooh. Oh. Damn, I can't do that. Not close enough. Not close enough. Oh, not close enough. Alright, well. I'll try to parlay with those dragons, and I'm going to throw an Eldritch Blast its way.
Okay.
All right, you know what? Better yet, I'm going to do a... I'm going to step right there. And do a wall of four. Where I'm just making a sphere domed over the top of me and Spaz.
Okay. So I need once you do that, I'll need Snowflake to give me a persuasion roll at disadvantage,
Okay.
since you're in the middle of battle and they don't seem to trust anybody.
All right. Woohoo! This is going to turn out well. But you never know.
Never
Let's
know.
get some good dice.
Yep.
Actually, not bad.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Alrighty. So you do that and then immediately cast a spell and alright, sounds good.
Now, Haleth and them, I guess, are like right at the edge of that.
Haleth is up on the ceiling.
up the wall.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
she's on the ceiling.
Merrick's at the edge, but it might be able to cover him. Let me double check the thing on it. I know there's something to do with it if you're at the edge.
You get crushed or split in half, I think, right? Just kidding.
That would be typical. Spaz is always doing stuff to hurt.
Okay, what it does is that when it cuts through a creature's face, when it appears, the creature is pushed to the side of the wall. Your choice on which side. Where do you want to be at, Merrick? Inside or outside, buddy? Do you want to be in the circle?
I think
Yeah, I'll be in the circle.
I think it's Snowflake's choice, actually.
So,
Sorry,
Merrick
Hugh.
goes in.
Alright.
I know, but I didn't want to force him to have to be in there.
I got you. Alright, so this dragon gets back into a sort of a flying position. You see the ballista takes a shot. Misses.
Actually, last turn he would have been able to do that.
Oh,
'cause it
what do you-
dropped off. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. That's alright. No biggie. Ren, you're up. So, Ren, you guys are falling. And, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, like the map if I'm way low
Yeah.
or. I don't know how that's
Yeah,
gonna
no
work.
worries. So,
So that's where I'm trying to go.
Sure. Are you dashing to get there if you have to?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you dash up and continue to fly, you are able to get up and in there. As you fly through, you see the fire giant kind of takes his sword and starts to bring it up to swing at you.
Don't do it.
But then he holds off.
Oh, that one heard me. I speak giant now.
Talon, you see one of the dragons is just bearing down on you. Oh, yep. And he doesn't get caught up in the guy ropes and is able to actually get through them. And he's about 10 feet off of the platform itself, and he kind of flies over to the other side. Kind of gets right up next to Puff. Lusta takes a shot and misses the dragon. Spaz.
All right, so the limitation of this wall, nothing physically can pass through it.
Correct.
So like fireball, lightning bolt, stuff like that's out of the question.
Talon.
I know. Talon.
Talon wasn't a drug ass. But Talon's always on his own program.
Oh,
anyways.
yeah, forgot. I was sitting there trying to defend you guys. My bad.
That's the circle of trust. When you get here, I might just let you in. Let's see. Spaz will do. Oh, yeah. Spaz is going to do hypnotic pattern.
Okay.
This thing's probably got a freaking crazy ass bonus to its wisdom saves, but hey, what the heck? I'll try it.
Okay.
30-foot cube. I think I should be able to get both of them.
Yep.
All right, here we go. That yep stuff that you're doing says to me that even though it fails, it's going to use a legendary resist and pass.
I appreciate you reminding me. I forgot he had legendary resist. So he'll
And I
pass.
roll a 4.
All right. So he passes.
All right, well, that's one of them.
All right. Sounds
And
good.
that will be Spaz's turn.
Okay. I think Spaz, you're at the bottom. Yeah, you are. Haleth.
Right, I'm just going to crawl along the wall and get over in this section.
Okay.
And if any of the dragons come within range, I will shoot that I've got a line of sight on.
Sounds good. Oh, Grazelfek continues to fall. As you peek over the edge, Talon, you see he hits the rocks in a very unusual position.
On his head?
Yeah, kind of. And then
How far is it?
long ways. Hundreds of feet, to be honest with you. So he's a tiny little dot down there. And then as he hits, you see like pieces fly everywhere of him. Merrick.
I wish I knew something that I could say to these giants here, but I'm just going to say, hey, we're here to help. Let us let us help. We want to help protect the phylactery.
Okay.
That's all. I'm staying in the circle.
Okay. See another catapult gets thrown out towards the dragon. Oh, it actually hits him. So he kind of gets hit with this. Black Angus. Oh, you guys are together. I forgot. Sorry, I can't remember what number you were at, but you see that the dragon continues to fly. What would you like Puff to do?
Puff's kind of like level with the bridge, and he's going to continue. Well, where's this green dragon?
It's right next to him.
At the same level, so he's level with the bridge?
Right.
Alright, well, apparently he's not going to do anything. So, I'll just go.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to pull out an arrow of walloping.
Uh-huh. Nice. That's a hit. Nice.
And he is prone.
Nice shot.
I don't know what that does to him.
Makes him slowly fall down, like sort of circle down, kind of lose altitude type of thing.
Good. And then no one else is inside of the cage, inside of the wires.
He's the only one in the wires, yep. Rest are all on the outside.
Alright, for giggles, I'll shoot the red dragon with a arrow of walloping.
Okay.
Whoops.
That's okay. You hit the red dragon. Nice.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to make my way.
Alright. Sounds good. You see the green dragon retreats. Red dragon flies to there. Kind of yells out something in Draconic.
Snowflake know what he said. He says, pull back, or kill nah.
So the fire giant kind of looks around at all the little people in here, the griffin and everybody else, and he again points towards Haleth. Kind of yells something very sternly this time. And you see him kind of move over here, and he starts to climb the ladder to try to get up to her location. He climbs up to about the level that you are, Haleth, and he kind of looks at you. His face is right there in your face, and you see him point the sword down at the ground.
I boop him on the nose.
Snowflake's yelling says, he says, get down.
You see the hill giant kind of moves over, and he stands next to the wall of force, and he kind of bumps against it, As he went to step, he was like, he can't step, and he keeps putting his foot on top of it, like he doesn't get why he can't step on the ground. He keeps like pushing harder and harder, bouncing his foot off it. Snowflake.
Snowflake will ready an action to recast Wall of Force once talent enters the circle of trust.
Okay, sounds good. Yep, that sucks. So the ballista shoots. It doesn't matter. You roll 2 6s anyways, or 6 and a 9. Misses the dragon. Ren.
I'll look up at Haleth. What do we want to do here? I don't understand these giants.
I thought we had somebody who could speak giant.
I'm just gonna dodge, and then I'm gonna tell Black Angus to get in position to catch Talon if he gets blown off the bridge. So
Okay, sounds good.
he'll start heading that way just in case.
Okay, sounds great. So Black Angus starts flying out. So the green dragon from the prone drifts half his distance down, so he is now 40 feet below Puff when it becomes his turn. You do see that he kind of stands up or starts to regain his flight ability. And as he does, you see he kind of flies underneath the bridge. And yeah. And kind of bangs against the wires and kind of falls down in a sort of a 45-degree angle, flying downward. The ballista takes a shot at Talon. Talon, this large bolt kind of hits you right along the arm there that cuts through. I need a dex save for me, please. Nice job. So as it does, you feel it kind of tear through the kind of the skin on your arm, but it doesn't really stick. And as it does, it kind of clatters against the side and falls over the edge. Spaz.
What is Baz gonna do? Spaz is not going to do any. Well, Spaz will start talking to the giants. Hopefully, they understand common. Tell them about him being the Magnificent Seven, and they're here to save the oil phylactery, and that we're here, we're coming in peace, and yeah, don't hit us with no more of those green globby things.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to persuade.
Yep. So it would be at disadvantage.
It's all right. It's probably better than my boy. I got a plus 17 on mine.
Nice. All right, thank you. So you kind of go through your whole spiel, and the hill giant kind of looks at you like a hill giant would look, I guess, and not very intelligently. And the fire giant can hear you talking. He kind of looks back to you, but he keeps staring at Haleth. He kind of turns quickly back towards you. All right, sounds good. Anything else, Spaz?
That'll be it.
Alrighty. Haleth.
Great. We'll jump down
Okay.
and move over by Rin.
Okay. Sounds good. Merrick.
I'm not going to do nothing this time. I'm just waiting for these giants to grab a brain.
Sounds good. Alright, so the dragons kind of fly off. What would you like Puff to do, Talon?
It'll fly up to me.
Okay.
Then I'll dash.
Okay.
Oh man, that's as far as you can go?
You see the dragons are sort of in a retreat at this point. Alright. So, ends up being Snowflake's turn.
Well, Snowflake wasted. Well, he doesn't. He readied the spell, so he's got to spend it.
He can hold it if he wanted to.
Can you continue to hold it past around?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you readied it.
Yep, I readied it.
I got you.
So, all of 4, so that's up 5th level. And, yeah, that's... I didn't drop it, so I'll keep it up.
Okay. Alright, Black Angus.
He'll start coming back.
Okay.
He's gonna stay like right there just in case some of us get fallen off. He's a little
Yes.
bit lower where he
Gotcha.
catches or trying to get to us.
So that's kind of on the outer edge of the mountain. You're okay with that? You guys are kind of like in a
Yeah.
hole. Okay, gotcha. I just want to make sure you kind of knew what the map was looking like. All right.
So are we like down in a? We have like a wall on the
You're
side
in
of
a,
us.
yeah, you're completely surrounded. You're in like a tunnel. So once you reach the circle, you're in a tunnel, and the circle doesn't reach the roof because it's only 10 foot in diameter. So the opening is what 30 feet wide. I think I had said. I think.
Okay, I'll leave him there for now, and
Okay,
I'll bring him up later.
no problem. What would you like to do, Ren?
I'm clueless as to what we got going on here, so I'm just gonna dodge.
Okay, sounds good. The other dragon kind of regains his flight and flies off. Spaz. Did I skip over the giants? I did. That's okay. Go ahead.
Spaz continues to try to talk to the giants.
So, Spaz, you recognize from the last time, they don't understand a word you're saying. They have no clue what you're saying.
I ask Snowflake, what's the word giant for we friend?
All right. So he would tell you.
Okay, and I go, we friend.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Alrighty. So, out of combat order here, we seem to be sort of at an impasse. So, Talon, you're already to the front here. So what would you all like to do? So you've got the fire giant's kind of up on the ladder. He sort of comes back down, stands kind of between the ladder and Ren and Haleth. The hill giant's in between those two, and briefly he was able to put his foot down on the ground, and then he went to step again and steps back on the bubble.
So nobody speaks giant.
Oh, I don't know. Frickin' Snowflake does, but he's just not really good at persuading people anything. So I would say Spaz and Snowflake team up, and they translate back and forth, talking to each other. And Spaz tells him, Snowflake what to say, and Snowflake's probably gonna fuck it up, but he tells him what to say.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So the giants essentially tell you, you're not allowed here. This is not where you're supposed to be. Why are you in our city? Who do you work for? They seem very distrustful of Snowflake and the communication that you're having. And then, Talon, how would you... I assume you were coming into the tunnel here?
No, apparently not.
Well, I think
run into the wall.
yeah, you don't know the wall's there, so you bounce against this imaginary wall for a second.
Well, I'm trying to remove it, it won't go.
You're trying to remove the actual thing?
Yeah, I'm dropping concentration.
Gotcha. So you're able to get through it then.
Alright, well, I'll stay here and
Okay.
just kind of keep an eye out for...
Watching for dragons and things?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Snowflake looks at Talon's like, are you trying to get in the circle of trust?
Nope.
I'm gonna look around this big hill giant, like in between his legs. What are we doing here, guys?
That doesn't sound good.
I knew what you meant, though.
So what'd you see?
Twig and berries.
So the fire giant seems to be talking mainly for the group that's here. The hill giant is just sort of there for the muscle, it appears. And he kind of yells up to the top, and he's like, he says, the small folk down here, they don't leave, and we don't know what they're here for. And you see another fire giant comes rumbling down the steps.
Getting crowded.
So if we can't convince them, we have nobody to convince them to let us in, then I don't know what to do.
Baz tries to speak to the new fire giant. Does he understand common?
This one does not either.
Okay. Spaz casts mass suggestion, tell him to take him to the Phylactery.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and hit him with the suggestion.
Oops, frickin', god dang it, get on the right one.
So all three of them fail. You tell them to take you to the Phylactery.
Yes, let us through and take us to the Phylactery.
So they all look at each other and they shrug when you say Phylactery, like they have no idea what you're talking about.
It. Fuck it. Don't maybe have to cast it again.
I'm sorry, they don't know what the Phylactery is.
What was the damn name of it? The diamond?
They don't know what a Phylactery is. The Dragotha's Phylactery? They don't know it. They have no idea
Tell
what
them.
you're talking about.
Take us to the thing they're protecting.
Let her take us to your leader.
Well, I did say let us through. Maybe they'll just let us through.
They let you through. You can go up the ladder if you want.
All right.
So, And they even go up with you, to be honest with you. So they kind of follow you up there. Again, they don't say anything about. And as you go up this ladder, you see this ladder goes essentially into a tower, and this tower is pretty much just a hole all the way through. And as you go up, you see that as you get to the top, you see that this is actually a facade. This is not a castle or anything at all. This actually is made to look like a place that would contain something of great importance. But really inside, all you find is a room, and there's fire giants and hill giants that are up there. There's about 30 of them total that are fighting the dragons and whatnot. You do see, as you get up to the top, there's some discussion between the fire giants and hill giants. They're talking about who are these people, and the people that brought them up, they're looking for something called a phylactery, and they're like, we don't know what that is. I don't know why they would be here. And there's just this general sort of angst between the three of them that you've caused mass suggestion, as well as the rest of them, trying to decide what to do with this. At this point, you hear other ones kind of yelling, "Hey, come on, help us shoot the dragons! Come on, we need to keep the focus here," and whatnot. These are foot soldiers that essentially don't know anything about what's going on.
Great. Can any of you take us to Silver Eye?
And that's what Snowflake could translate.
Okay, gotcha. So this is a picture of the battle, essentially, is what you see. So when you say that, one of them kind of talks back to the other, and he says, "If you want to see Silver Eye, you should see Bag first."
Okay.
And so the three that are with you say that they're willing to walk you there, and they go back down the stairs.
Okay. Follow 'em.
So as they come back down the stairs, they bring you back towards the bridge again, and you see that they essentially start running across the bridge.
Are we back into initiative?
No.
Okay, we'll follow up then.
All right. And as you see them kind of running across, you do see there are some dragons that are now kind of coming from the distance again. They can move 80 feet. I don't know how you guys all want to move this, so...
As fast as we can.
I can go 60 feet.
All right. How about the rest of the group?
I'm gonna get on Black Angus and go 160 if I can fly over him.
Yeah,
Hold on. Can I fly with you?
I can go 180, but I don't know
Sure.
if I can get past them.
Yeah, you can run between their legs.
I climb on Black Angus instead of running 60.
All right. So you all kind of run across the bridge. Black Angus goes across as well. You're all able to get across the bridge safely. You do see one of the dragons does take out the hill giant.
I'll double dash for 100.
Yep, go ahead. You guys can move your tokens across. So as you get across, they start running back over to the ladder. And you see him start to climb up.
Wish I could float up.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I'll climb up the wall next to him.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it's a pillar. It's actually the steps are actually in a rock pillar that goes all the way up to the top. So on the back side of it. Your mass
I do
suggestion. Oh, go ahead.
Do my best to follow him up.
All right.
Black Angus up.
Alrighty, sounds good. So you all get up to the upper level. And they immediately start taking you south as they kind of run along the edges. As you guys continue along the kind of the area of this town, as you're running through, you do see there's a party of orcs that are kind of running the opposite way, and you see the fire giants stop for a second and they point towards the opposite direction, but the orcs appear to be routed at this point, and they're just kind of running. And you hear the giants kind of curse at them again, and they continue to kind of run along the edge to this large tower, and they use it as cover. As they get to, sorry, they didn't quite get to the tower there itself. You see that there's 3 hill giants up on the top of this tower, and they start actually throwing, launching catapult stones at them. And you hear them kind of cursing as they're doing that.
So the hill giants are throwing stuff at the
Yep.
fire giants?
They are. And they quickly kind of hide behind the side here of the edge. And then you can hear the hill giants up on top kind of barricading the door, or coming down and barricading the door. The fire giants are cursing at the hill giants. They kind of move around the tower itself. You can see the hill giants kind of yelling out at them and whatnot, back and forth. Snowflake would recognize that it appears that these are rival tribes, and you can hear the fire giants saying, yelling up to him that Shalgar lost his battle. Why are you continuing to fight the coup? Why don't you come out here and fight like real giants? And you hear the hill giants kind of yelling in there. They're like, why'd you bring the dragons here? This is all your fault. What are you guys doing? Type of thing. What would the party like to do? Continuing to follow the fire giants, I assume?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You see one of the fire giants then runs down here, and where these steps are at towards the south, it's a very narrow stretch. It's only about 10 feet wide, so for them it's very, very close. And you see that here the guy lines are fairly close, but they're about 50 feet above, and you see there's a lot of sort of blisters that have, it looks like they've been shot over here, and the chains are just kind of hanging over the guy wire, so the blisters are just sort of hanging down. And you see that there are, as you peer over the edge, a dragon, a green dragon that's stuck with one of the ballistas in its chest, and it's just kind of flying, and it's got this chain attached to the castle, and it's trying to pull away, and it's kind of stuck there from the round tower that's there.
Is he like breathing any poison or anything like that?
He is, but he's so far down that his poison breath doesn't shoot out that far. He's about 80 feet below you or so.
Okay.
So as they continue, they go down this stretch. I assume you guys are going to do the same. I know some of you are listed as being off the cavern wall there, but you're really not. So they continue to kind of bring you along this edge. You continue to see sort of the battle that's occurring around. They continue to take you towards the other castle that you can see on the far edge. And that appears to be where they're kind of heading. As they come around the final sort of landing there, and you guys come around as well, you see there's another 40-foot tower that stands here, and there's a 20-foot high heavy wooden gates with a stone gatehouse around it. And you see that the gates are partially ruined, and the doors are sort of open, and you see that there's a charred wood that appears to come from some sort of a dragon fire that has kind of broken the door here. You hear the fire giants kind of talk back and forth, and they said it's kind of saying it's very unusual for these gates not to be manned, and they slowly kind of move through the gates opening more cautiously now at this point.
Oh, there's my token. I couldn't see it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, they're so tiny. Again, they continue to move pretty slowly through this area of the city. As you guys enter in, you see there's lots of bodies of dragon corpses. You see lots of giant bodies where literally you're having to climb over them or kind of move in between. They give great cover. I mean, you can really hide with all these corpses. But you see there's literally hundreds of giant corpses, and there's probably 15 or 20 different dragon corpses that are all sort of scattered all along this area here. Kind of makes it difficult. They kind of move more slowly as they're moving through. You see that the dragons, again, are focused more on the north side. That one tower that they were attacking, they don't really seem to be attacking this side very much. They continue to kind of walk around these bodies, and then they, instead of going through the arch that you see in front of you, they actually turn, well, wherever I guess I missed the path, but the path would be coming up this way, and they start heading up to this large palace that's on the side of the building, on the side of the cave. And that arch that you see is similar to the other arch, but this one is made of blood red stone. It's about 60 feet above, and you do see that it's painted with sort of this yellow, greenish, not yellow, orangish, yellow, orangish paint, and it's inscribed with in giant language. And it talks about warning and praise of valor for combat against their enemies, and yeah, that's at least what he can kind of ascertain as you guys are running by. And the giants bring you up to the top here of this palace, and they kind of knock on the door. And one of them looks to you and he says, "In here."
Great.
And as he pounds on the door, after about 10 minutes or so, you see one of the doors sort of opens up, and the facade of this building is destroyed. I mean, there's rubble and everything. The building's generally intact, but it looks terrible. And the door opens, and you see a hill giant kind of opens it up, and he looks out and he says, "Why are you here?" To the giants, and the giants say, "Bag, sorry, sir. They ask us to bring you." And he looks behind and he says, "You idiots." And then he looks out to you all, and in common he says, "What are you doing here?"
Okay, Haleth, this is where you speak up.
No, it's not.
But you know why we're here.
He looks back and forth between the group as you guys are arguing back and forth.
Take me to your leader.
I know this part of the story, so I'm not going to say anything.
Bag's like, I am the leader. I'm the captain of the Rift.
Well, Captain, let us in.
No.
We're here to see the Phylactery.
What are you talking about?
What are you protecting? The dragons are here for a reason, and we're here to take care of that reason.
You're here to take it too, huh? You kinda
For
seem to
protection.
Oh, sure. Yeah, protection. I think we're doing a fine job. Protection, huh? And you see him kind of reach back, and he kind of says something in giant to the back. And Snowflake recognizes, he says, "Hey, get up here." And you see 4 fire giants come up behind him.
That was an accident. I hit a key.
No worries, that's okay. And he kind of looks to you and he says, "How do I know you're not with Shawgar, huh?"
We don't even know who that is. We don't care about politics. We just need to take care of this before the dragons destroy everything.
Well, just a couple days ago we were at peace, and they continued to. Dragons all came in force. Are you sure you're not the cause of all of this?
Who knows what we've caused?
He kind of looks around and he says,
We're here to stop the Age of Worms from happening. This is part of the quest.
"You're here to stop the Age of Worms? What is that?"
It's a... I don't even know it. There's giant worms are coming to end life.
And the army is being led by a lich, a dragon lich. And I'm pretty sure he's the one who has called all of these other dragons here to find it.
He kind of looks back and kind of says something to the fire giants again. He's like, "This doesn't make any sense." Kind of looks back to you guys and he says, "I don't know of a phylactery or whatever that is that you talk of, but I do know that we are protecting that tower. And you can see my men are working hard to do so."
The tower we just came from?
And he kind of points to the tower that you did just come from. He's like, "Yes, whatever is so important is in that tower."
Well, can we get passage through there so that we can look and see if we can find whatever it is the dragons are searching for?
He kind of waits for a few minutes and kind of shakes his head and he says, "What's the point? This is..." He says, "I think what you look for is over there." And he kind of points towards the southern castle that you see there. He says, "I don't know what it is, but I know our arch talks of worms and dragons. I assume that's where you need to be."
Yes.
Bag says, "But I'll only let you in there on one condition.
And what's that?
Destroy the rift crawlers. Shalgarl does not deserve to be here. He's splintered our tribe."
How will we identify them then?
They're hill giants, dissidents. It's easy to identify.
I'll look to Ren.
Well, I guess we go hill giant then.
Do we kill all the hill giants?
No. Absolutely not. Anybody that's with the Rift Lords is not to be killed.
Well, how will I tell which one's which?
I see your point. Fine. Head to the castle. The Citadel of the Weeping Dragons. That's where you belong.
Okay.
He looks at the two fire giants and he says, "You two, with me. Come in."
Where's the Weeping Castle again? Is
Yep.
that the south one?
It is.
I guess that's where we're heading.
All right. give you a taste of what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So as you come up to the arch that's here, you see that the arch is exactly how I described it. It's 60 feet high, and beyond it you see kind of that unsupported natural stone bridge again. It's 10 feet wide, 10 feet thick, and it looks, even though it's that, it looks as if it could fall at any moment. You see there's some holes that are there. Kind of in the rock, you see a lot of rock has been broken off of it. Most of the guy wires that are protecting this bridge are now gone from the assault that must have occurred on the lower city earlier.
And there are no dragons in this area?
So they seem to be concentrating mainly to the north. You do see some that'll fly here and there, but for the most part it appears that they are off to the north.
I will sprint across the bridge.
Okay.
So will Snowflake and Spaz.
Alrighty. So as you guys sprint across, you do feel that the bridge is relatively stable compared to what you had expected, to be honest with you, because the looks are sort of deceiving. And as you kind of come across the bridge there and come up to the other side, I'll put you on that lower map, that new one that was there. You see that the stone bridge kind of from the city sort of comes up and wraps around sort of the southern part of the pinnacle of this castle and whatnot. You do see that there's a battlement that's immediately above you to the north. Sorry about the three-dimensional map, but that's what they made it as. So as you kind of get to there, you do see that above that kind of that battlement, you do see there are sort of three giants that are there, kind of peering down, or two giants that are peering down towards you. And one of them yells down in giant, "Halt! Who are you?"
I don't see the map.
I'll reshare it. It's down at the very bottom of it.
We're the Magnificent Seven, and we're here to save the day.
You see that they kind of yell back.
Bag sent us.
And as they yell back, you do see that the ballista there's a ballista kind of off to the I'll highlight the giant that's immediately to the west, kind of points in your direction. He doesn't fire, but he just sort of points towards you.
Bag sent us over here.
And the giant kind of looks at you and kind of looks back, and he says, "There's nothing here. You're at the wrong place."
Well, Bag told us to come over and search through this castle.
He says, "Follow me."
Okay.
Kind of comes up towards the doors and kind of walks over here. And he kind of yells up and he talks to the other one. And as he does, he says, "We need to wait here."
All right.
He says, "Kagro will figure this out."
I'll start casting comprehend languages.
Okay, sounds good.
I know it'll take 10 minutes, but
That's
the way
fine.
we're going, it'll be 10 minutes.
Yep. So you see the giant kind of disappears and goes inside. The other giant, this giant stands here. You do see that there are two large doors that are closed. And the doors are obviously giant-sized. And you see that they are about 20 feet high. They're made of natural, opens into a natural rock wall. And the doors bear the bas-relief carvings of dragons falling from the sky, being slain by great arrows and rocks. And you see a bunch of broken dragon bodies laying in heaps on the ground below. Faintly visible above all of the dragons are 5 dragon heads representing each of the chromatic breeds. They're all together in a single body, and it seems to be looking down in anguish. You do see that the stone of the doors are damp with rivulets of water that seem to be seeping down its surface, almost as if like tears. While he's waiting, is anybody else doing anything at this point?
I'm just protecting Haleth from anything while she's concentrating on her spell.
I guess I'll use an action to heal a little bit. I'm gonna use some hit dice.
Okay. So, Haleth, you're able to comprehend language.
So I can't speak it, I can just understand it.
No problem. So, as about 15 minutes goes by and you see the giant who's standing there with you seems to be pretty uneasy as he's standing there. Just because he's kind of out in the open and he's with a bunch of people that, a bunch of people he doesn't know or why you're here. Suddenly you see the door kind of flies open on the top of or you can hear it actually. And as that happens, you hear the voice of a very loud, sort of foreboding voice kind of comes over to the edge and peers over the parapet. As he does, you see him look down and he speaks in giant to the one down below. And he kind of seems to be almost upset, to be honest with you, that this is that you guys are standing there.
I look up at him just as upset to be standing here as he is.
I bet.
Well, sir, do you speak the common language?
He kind of looks over to Haleth and he says, "Yes. Why are you here? We are fighting dragons. We don't have time for little people's visits."
We know why the dragons are here attacking your city.
Why are the dragons here?
You're protecting something in this castle that they want. And we're here to take care of that for you.
Dragons are here because of the endless eons of battles between giants and dragons. This is not anything new. It's been here long before me and long before you.
Has the attack been this ferocious all of a sudden, the way it is?
You never know with dragons. They're fickle beasts. Sometimes they attack now, sometimes they'll attack 500 years from now.
Have you seen all of the different types fighting together, though?
I have in the past. Tiamat drives them, I can promise you that. But no, this has not happened in many, many years. We're defending our keep. We're doing fine. We're doing okay. They've moved on. I'm not sure what I can help you with. I'm sorry we can't give you solace in our keep. This is not available, but you're more than welcome to take solace in the city. They seem to left the southern part of the city. I'm sure there's some ruins or rubble you can hide behind.
I'll just turn back and look at the rest of the group.
Okay.
I'm going to say Bag sent us here because this is where we need to be. Our quest tells us we have to be here to stop the Age of Worms. Are you going to let us do our job, or are we going to have to kill y'all?
Bag is a coward.
Oh, dear Lord, I step away from him.
Bag is a coward, just like Shalgar. All the giants that are out there are cowards. The true people are the ones of the Rift Crawlers. The Karak Durunkan here.
Oh, so you're the rift crawlers?
Of course we are. Sorry. Not Rift Crawlers. They're Nul Shada. I looked at the wrong one. Sorry. We're Nul Shada. We've been here longer than any of them. Our tribe has been the first here.
You came here some 1,500 years ago?
I have not. I was born and raised here, but my tribe has been here for decades, centuries, eons. We've lived here from the beginning, and we'll live here till the end.
No, we're trying to stop the end. Can you let us in?
Why don't you go ahead and give me a persuasion roll, Merrick?
I'm the wrong guy,
It's okay. You're the guy chatting.
because nobody else will step up.
I hear you.
Look, I've done my part. Sorry.
Kagro looks down and he says, "No, I won't let you in. Leave the castle immediately." With that, he turns around and he starts to walk away.
Hey, let's open the door.
Right here in front of everybody? There's a
Yeah,
front
right
turret
now,
right here.
in front of everybody. If we gotta kill him, we gotta kill him.
You hear the upper door close. Door
They're
closes.
just not being helpful.
To the giant right in front of me.
Yeah,
He didn't speak common, did he?
he did not.
Hey, Snowflake, tell this guy that we just need to take a quick break here and then we'll leave and go back to the city. Tell him we need to rest.
All right, Snowflake would tell him that. So you guys are gonna take a rest here for a minute?
I just want to see if he'll go away.
Okay, gotcha. So he does. He comes over here and sort of stands, but he continues to watch you that way, but he continues to watch towards the bridge too.
Okay, so what are we going to do here?
We're gonna have to take it by force.
We're gonna have to kill every dragon in this place, or giant in this place, if they won't be cooperative.
Well, you just want to burst down the doors and just walk in to the place, or are we going to try to do this a little...
Already tried a little.
Spaz, can you and Snowflake take care of that top area there? Not enough monster.
Nope.
That guy's sitting on a ballista too.
Yeah, he has a ballista as well. Yep, the guy in the top. It's not on the map, but there's a ballista there.
I was hoping for a hypnotic pattern.